Sold the streets, I'm ahead of my time, 2023. Back with my homie Maniac on the beat. We represent the 215, the 213, 267, the 323, the 818, the 445. We spit that fire, the San Quentin, I shoot that wire. Going higher than I've ever been. Fired on my fake friends, got it out the mud, now I'm swimming in the deep end. Homie, this is the life. Sacrifice my years, all my tears, all my fears. Now I'm living on the edge, homie. Never wanna chase pussy, I chase bread. Don't take meds to shake feds. Don't wear red, no offense though, homie. Still need bloodshed. Back from the dead to shed my light, spread my truth. I tell no lies, I bear all fruit. If money is the root, then our souls are the evil. Cause we living for the dollar, like Marvin said. Homie, make me wanna hop. What up, everyone? Welcome to the show. It's After Hours Live, the G-Lew show. Tonight, we got a very, very special guest, my homeboy Big D. He is here, a.k.a. Big D, keeping it real from Whittier, where they say the hyenas are much prettier. Please welcome my homeboy Big D to the show. Keeping it real from Whittier, where they say the hyenas are much prettier. Please welcome my homeboy Big D to the show. Keeping it real from Whittier, where they say the hyenas are much prettier. Please welcome my homeboy Big D to the show. Hey, Big D, you got an echo, homie.
Oh, do I? Hold on.
Yeah. Please welcome my homeboy Big D to the show. Hey, Big D, you got an echo, homie.
Oh, do I? Hold on.
Please welcome my homeboy Big D to the show. Hey, Big D, you got an echo, homie.
Oh, do I? Hold on. Should be straight.
I still hear it. I don't know if it's a maybe you have an extra device on.
Throw me off, and throw me back on.
Okay. I hear it. I don't know if it's okay. We got to figure it out. Top of the morning. Shout out to my boy Keith Kloss. He's all the way in Turkey. People tuning in to the G-Lew show. Shout out to the homie Sucker Free 01. Pamela Taylor is here. She says we welcome you, Big D. Shout out to my producer, Miss DD Hairston. Shout out to our sponsor, Street Level Clothing. Shout out to Love 2018. Done. I love you, babe. I love you too. You know what I mean? Shout out to my homeboy from Southside Compton, Crippo. What it do? Love one, much love. And like I said again, shout out to the Unknown Raider guy. That's my guy right there. Much love to you, homie. And you know, tonight, like I said again, we got a very special guest. We got the homeboy Big D from Whittier. We're gonna get the whole story. Homie's done a lot of platforms, a lot of interviews, but we're gonna get the real tonight. He's keeping it real right here on the show. So I want to get the whole story. The homie grew up in Whittier, California, very historical, monumental place. The Boulevard of Whittier, is very popular. And him to come up in that city, be from a neighborhood, quiet village, which I was aware of coming up. Hold on one second. There we go. Which I was aware of. Lived not too far from him, up the way. So I want to get the story, of Whittier, California, quiet village tonight. So, like I said, we got my homeboy Big D. He's here, people. Without any further ado, let me bring him on. Big D, what up, my boy?
What's going on, G-Lew? How you doing, homie?
Hey, doing good, bro. Glad to have you here. It's an honor.
Oh, no, saying likewise, brother. Thanks for having me on board. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Everyone coming in right now, this is my homeboy Big D. Hit that like button as you come in. Please pay respect, show respects. But before we get started, Big D, let the people know who we got. Who is Big D, homie? Who is the guy behind the man keeping it real, as they say?
Hey, check this out, man. It's Friday night. You guys know, get your drinks on, man. You know what I mean? Bring your drinks, do what you do. Ain't nothing different. We all know what we're all about, man. Saludos. It's Friday night, and let's party, man. That's what I'm all about, man.
That part. Hey, Big D, tell the people why, you took it upon yourself, like your moniker now is Big D, keeping it real. Where does the keeping it real come from, and what is that all about?
Keeping it real, man. It's crazy, man, because I'm a straight up person, bro. You know what I mean? And the quotation and the remark that what it means, keeping it real, that means just staying straight up, man. You got to be straight up these days. There's a lot of counterfeits. There's a lot of people who are misinterpreting, their conceptions and the things that they do. So me, I just all my life, that's all I know. What I've been doing is just keeping it real, man, since day one, since I was a little kid, man, and all the way through the streets, man. To tell you the truth, so if you want to keep it 100, man, just I mean, that's where I'm at. That's what I believe in, man, straight out.
Yeah, he does, and I like me personally. I like the positivity, homie, that you push. Like if you tune into your channel, and all that, or whatever you post, whatever it be, YouTube, IG, whatever. It's always something positive, man, and I really appreciate that because I respect that coming from homies that really come from the streets and really come from this shit for real. You know what I mean? And turn around and really have a positive outlook on what they do and what they put out there, like these platforms, because as we know nowadays, a lot of these platforms are taking like a different direction, and the homies use it, and it's used for the bad. You know what I mean? And especially older homies, you know what I mean, that we feel should know better and know, to push. Is you don't have to be all like, goody too, but it's about positivity at this point. We gotta
Just
push that. You can
keep it
speak a
real, man.
story,
Keep it
but don't
real.
push the bullshit out there. You know what I mean? Because we know it's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So keep it real. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that what you do, homie.
No, I appreciate that too, man. It's like you said. Now, reverting to what you're saying, now there's a lot of channels that are following the same narrative, man. I'm different, man. You know that song? Yes, I'm different. Yes, I'm
Right.
different. I'm different in so many ways, but then the same and other ways too. So we can all relate to one another, man. Let's just be honest. But I'm not trying to follow no other narrative or trying to follow somebody else's. You know what I mean? Their lifestyle, their suit. I mean, we all come from that background. Most of us, some of us, the little of us. We all have the same problems, the same, upbringings, and some more than others, some better than others, man. But, when you're pushing too much of this one stuff out, man, it's like, I'm the opposite, man. That's just me.
Right. She said, Denise, shout out to Denise Castillo in OC. She said, G asked Big D, has he ever shot a 4.5? Have you ever shot a 4.5, Big D?
Man, we got to watch out, man, because there's a lot of hacking going on, So if Apple and
Right. Right.
Microsoft,
The
man,
homie is shot. The homie is shot. If
I said,
is gonna. Yeah,
hey, if I said I shot a 45, it's just the
that could tie
Russians.
me back to some shit. Yeah.
It's just the
Yeah.
Russians, man. They're hacking me right now, The
Right.
spooky.
Right. On a side joke, the homie. Look, oh, hold on. Let me bring in the homie right quick. We
Bring
got
them
a special guest. Hold up. Is that the love
Whoa,
machine?
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Hey, G-Lew, you see this guy right here? You see that guy? You see that guy?
Hey, love
What's
machine. What's up, my
happening?
boy?
Oh man, just getting back, dog. Just got to the pad. Was out there tipping a few, a
Right.
little. Yeah.
He wants to keep it. He wants to keep an orgy going, dog. That's what it is, bro.
Hey, shout out to
Ah,
Love Machine, man. Love Machine, you
what
can't
up?
crash
Hey,
the
what's
show.
up,
Check it out. Next
GB?
Friday, we have Love Machine. He's gonna be here for his interview. So you know what I mean? Yeah, that guy
What?
right there. He's gonna be
Hey.
here next Friday. And so you know what I mean? He'll be here. So Love Machine, give him a sneak peek. We can't give him too much, man. You know what I mean?
Oh man, well, you know what? We got something good going on, and it's taking how can I say it? It's
Hmm.
I can't find the words right now, but it's taking its own life right now, man. We got the channel growing, dog. We got the channel growing, and it just what I mean. It's just rolling, dog, and we're all just jumping on board because it's taking the form of its own. That's what it is.
Right,
It's taking the
right,
form of its own. But
right.
yeah, man, they can expect like a Mexican Saturday Night Live type shit with our channel. We just re-
Okay.
we just recruit we just recruited Big D. We still gotta jump
Uh-oh.
him in tomorrow, but
Uh-oh.
you know what I'm saying. We're
Uh-oh.
we're taking it old school.
And
Taking it
make sure
old
you bring the
school.
whole crew, bro. Make sure you bring the whole crew.
Hey, the homie Javier said Love Machine is scared to do karaoke. What's up with that?
Whoa.
He's scared to battle him on the
Okay,
karaoke.
now let me give a Cricket my rebuttal. I
Okay.
called out Cricket on some bowler, dog, so he still hasn't got at me with that one, dog. So I'm still waiting on him to challenge me on the bowler. But
Challenge you on
you
the
know what?
what? On the
I,
Ebola? What the
On the
heck?
Ebola. No. No.
after after I win cricket on some handball,
Who
then
won
I'll
the
win them on
basketball
some
game?
fucking karaoke.
Who won the
Huh?
basketball game? Who won the basketball game?
Well, I let him win. I let him win. I
Okay.
gave him a point. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to make him look bad in the monte, you know, and beat him in his hometown. So
Right.
I said, nah, he got me. Nah, the homie
Right.
he got me. But
Right. He might have called
handball,
his
he
homeboys.
isn't
He might have
good with me.
reverted back and called the homies. Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, next Friday we got Love Machine. Your next Friday, don't crash the party, Love Machine. This is Big D's night. You know what I mean? So next Friday we got
Well,
Love
hey,
Machine.
it's
He's
all of
gonna
our
be
nights,
here.
man. It's all of our
No,
nights.
I'm just talking shit.
Hey,
But still, we want to give him a sneak peek, not too much, because we got something special with my homeboy Love Machine next week. So everyone, tune in next Friday.
yeah.
Love
If you
Machine
want
will
to
be
sneak
here.
peek, if you want to sneak peek, tell Love Machine pull his pants down, dog.
Oh shit.
Nah.
No, they may not come back.
I'm just playing, guys. I've
Just
been hanging around with this guy
yeah.
too much, dog. I've been hanging around with this guy too much.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
well,
just tune in next Friday.
I'm gonna
What'd you
jump
say,
out.
homie?
I'm gonna stay in the comments. I'll stay in the comments.
Okay.
I'll check you guys out right now.
All right, my boy.
Much love to both of you
Peace.
guys.
All right.
All right.
Peace. That's my boy Love Machine.
Yeah,
Hey,
appreciate that guy, man. I like him, dog.
yeah.
Boy right there.
That's my boy. Shout out to Javier too, Big Cricks. What's up?
Yeah,
Okay, so Big D, let's talk about, man, your upbringing a little bit, man. Where it all started for Big D. I know you grew up in Whittier, but I don't think you were born in Whittier. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, homie.
I was born in the 70s, bro. So, most likely grew up in the 80s. So I'm just like the Wonder Years, big dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to remember when we were growing up, man, everything was small. Everything, to us, it was big. I
Right.
grew up right there in Boyle Heights, right there in East LA, man. A big Hispanic community. Had good times, man, growing up, not realizing, the adversity and the challenges that I had ahead of me, not being without a dad, at a young age. But
Right.
man, growing up at across the street from a park, man, it helped out a lot, man. It was like I was able to release a lot of my emotions and feelings, and man, just hanging around with the kids, man. You know how it was back in the days, G-Lew, man. We used to
Yeah.
break the fire hydrants, man, in the
Yeah,
summertime,
everything.
fill up the trash cans with water. And you know what I mean? We had the park, on Saturdays, they used to give us our free lunches, man. It
Yes,
was cool,
sir.
man. I had grandma right there, cooking up the food, man. It was pretty cool, man. It was like I tell you, a typical Wonders Year Mexican style, man.
Right. That's beautiful, man. What do you say before we move? But like you just said, all those beautiful things we had when we were kids. Not to say kids don't do what they do now, but the difference, man. If you can speak like the difference between like when we came, like you said, the '80s, growing up there, and as we were kids, and what we did, how we were really outside and everywhere, played around like everywhere. Like I remember even as a youngster being like everywhere. We were really outside, opposed to how it kind of is now, like different.
Well, the difference is electronics, bro.
Right.
Everybody's on YouTube,
Yeah.
everything. Back then, man, we used to wake up. Remember, G-Lo, man, we used to be waiting for those Saturday cartoons, man.
Yeah.
After school, Saturday cartoon, after school cartoons, before you go to school cartoons. And
Yes,
then
sir.
after that, then we just round it up and we're ready to go to the park. If we're not at the park, we're at the local store playing video games, man. It was pretty cool. But now everybody, once electronics came in, social media came in, it kind of just changed the narrative, So, kids now these days, man, they're self-sufficient. They don't know what it is to go out there outside and socialize, and
Right.
you don't even know who your next door neighbor is. And this, as an
Right.
adult, I
Right.
could understand that, but as
That's
kids,
crazy.
just
You
like, man,
knew the whole block. Everyone, the whole block, down
the
even the other street, 2 streets, 3 streets over. You
right?
feel me?
The whole block, man. The whole community, man. As far as like, used to go out there, man. In summertime, we used to rally up and go to the high schools with the pools, trick or treating days. It's just like, man, everybody, the community gets together. 4th of July. They used to have carnivals at parks back then,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It was
The
live. It
carnivals.
was live and going, man. That's the '80s for me, bro. That's what I remember, man.
Yeah. The carnivals, like you said, we would go like to every carnival in every different city, like you know what I mean? Like in remote areas, you know what I mean? Like here, Rosemead, El Monte, Pomona, of course, LA, everywhere, you know what I mean? And it was just like you said, we really like socialized and got out and learned everything. Like that's how we knew the city. Like we were everywhere. You know what I mean? Even like me, Whittier. Like I used to go to Whittier as a kid. Whittier Boulevard, you know, with the homies. So yeah, that's what's up. And now tell us about when you moved to Whittier and how it was living in Whittier as well, whatever time you moved there.
Right. So I'll take it back a little bit down memory lane. And I probably know some people who are on here, they probably, follow me. I've been in a couple channels. They kind of know the history behind it. But like I said, after, being in Boyle Heights, unfortunately, my grandparents, they got a divorce after so many years. And everybody just had to relocate, straight up. I had a great grandmother. My grandma's mom lived in Whittier. So I knew that part of town too. I mean, we
Right.
used to do events over there like Eastern, the Mexican culture. We just like the blacks, man. You know what I mean? We have big
Yeah,
families.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're all associated one way or another. The only thing that
Yes, sir.
separates us is color. And you know what I mean? But
It's
the
color
color,
and pride. That's the only thing that keeps us
that's it.
fucked up
Pride,
because we're the same. I always say that shit. We the same. You know what I
we the
mean?
same,
Like,
we
hey,
the same,
same
man. And
shit.
people
I
don't
grew up
realize
with
it.
Mexican. That's everything was the same to me. You know what I mean? Except like you said, just
And that's what I'm saying, man. We're the same people, man. Same thing,
yeah.
we have same emotions and everything. We have the same family gatherings, man. Different
We love
beer,
the same things. You know what I
different
mean?
meat,
Party, music. You know what I mean? Everything,
So
man. Cultures. You know what I mean? It's really the same. You know, seems different, but it's really the same.
it is, bro. It is. So, my grandma, she wanted to be closer to my mom, my great grandmother, her mom. And because at that time my grandmother was dying, bro. After my great grandmother was passing away, her mom. So my grandmother was going through a lot, I mean, she just got a divorce, and now, my great grandmother was passing her mom. So they took a route, towards that way. So I was always accustomed to Whittier, where my great grandmother lives today, or where they have their house at. It's right
Right.
there in my neighborhood. Not realizing after 20 something years that I was going to be part of, the area from around there. But,
Right.
I thought I was going to be part of the clica right there in State Street, because that's where my uncle was from. So, like I said, going back to a little bit of memory lane, my uncle was kind of like, my father figure. If for those who don't know, I lost my father at a young age to gang violence. So I was considered as, the world sees it today, I was a bastard. I didn't have a father growing up. Unfortunately, my dad took a narrative one day to go out hang with the homies, and you know how that goes. I'm a victim to that custom, and like how they say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, man. And my dad went out
Right.
at a young age, and he passed away, man. So I didn't have a father figure growing up, and didn't really understand that. Like I said, not the family and the reality is not going to hit you until life starts settling. And how life settles, you got to live life. You know what I'm saying? You have to grow into it, man. So everybody, as all human beings, we grow into life. You know what I mean? The years start accumulating. Now you're 7 years old. Now you're 10 years old. So it was pretty crazy because my uncle started being, they started a clica right there in Boyle Heights, State Street, and
State Street. I remember it.
I started seeing
Go
my
ahead.
uncle. Doing the things that he was doing. And to us, man, we're little kids, right? I have a big group of cousins, man. My family's pretty big,
Mhm.
and my mother's side. And it was like, man, like you said, you ever see, everybody knows Cops, man, right? And Cops is live. When Cops came out, that was like the first live action show. And all we used to, because we used to live across the street from the park, and that's where everything happened at, man, State Park, man. So we saw the raids, we saw the gun violence, the gang violence, man. I mean, in the summer times, we used to sleep on the floor because they used to
Mhm.
shoot at my front of my grandmother's house, man. So I thought
Mm.
it was in Iraq, bro. You know what I mean? Not knowing what Iraq was, I thought it was in these
Right.
foreign
Right.
countries, man. And you'd be surprised that terrorists, they're over here too in LA, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So
LA got the big. Hey. Whew.
you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So depending where you're at, it's pretty unfortunate, man. You see a lot of things growing up, and I saw it. You know what I mean? And I was customized. As a brain, everybody has a brain. I know some people are brain dead or for whatever a medical matter is. But if you're healthy enough, you see a lot. You process a lot. And
Yeah.
man, you take that where you grow as you grow, man. So you know what I mean. I took that style, what I learned from the streets from my uncle. And at that time, my mom, my mom was soul searching herself, because she just lost my dad. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. I know it was hard on my mom. I didn't realize to later on the years. You know, I had a lot of anger and animosity, and unforgiveness towards my mom until I put myself in her shoes one day, and I was always wondering why I felt neglected. Always wonder why I felt I was getting abused mentally, physically, and it didn't make sense, man. As a child, it don't make sense, man, because we're born into innocence, right? But you know
Right.
what I mean. As soon as we're born, man, anything could happen, man. And at a young age, you don't understand it. And then after,
Right.
so you start getting older, you start processing it. And then after, the way you develop it, it's what you see and how you feel. And I had a lot of resentment toward my mom. So me and my mom never really had that mother and son figure. So in all honesty, I lost like my mother and my father at the same time at a young age. Even though my mom was alive, she was going through a lot of emotional distraught. You know what I mean? I can understand now. So, pretty much I got raised by my grandparents, and thank God, big shout out to grandparents. Even though they got a divorce, but at that time, man, my grandfather and my grandmother took care of me, man. So, like I said, after all that stuff, I didn't want to be with my mom at a young age. My mom remarried after 10 years. She got married. She was starting her own family with, she got pregnant with my half brother, half my other siblings. And I felt like a black sheep, bro. You know what I mean? I was like,
Right.
hey, man, in with the new and out with the old, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of sad because, a lot of kids and a lot of us at a young age, we feel like that, we're all related one way or another, bro.
Right. Right.
A lot of us didn't have our fathers. Our fathers are in prison. The fathers, they're deadbeat dads, and
Right.
for whatever reason, man, I wouldn't even call them deadbeat dads. For whatever reason, some
They're
fathers
just
can't
not
handle.
there. Right.
So whatever the situation was. So to make a longer story short, man, I went down and I went to the neighborhood right there. Didn't want to be with my mom. My mom moved up north. To make a longer story short, and I ended up just hanging out with the homies right there in the community in Whittier, and after just ended up getting jumped in. I was not trying to get jumped in, man. I really wasn't trying to get jumped in the neighborhood. I was just like, man, I was trying to avoid it. Like, hey, well,
Was
you're
it
big.
were there any like, because I know sometimes, like, even with me, homie, same way, like, I don't feel I had to, but eventually it just happened. But, different from me, because like a lot of my home like best friends were there. I just didn't want to, but eventually it just happened. But was there anything like that led up to that? Like you said, not only just being sucked into the community and the environment, understand that, and especially when you're young, what I mean, you want to belong or want to just, especially when you don't get it from home. A lot of reasons people do it. But were there any other things that happened? Like maybe you had issues with other neighborhoods or whatever, any other issues that led to you uh getting into the neighborhood?
Absolutely, man. So I found out my like I said, my mom ended up going up north, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to be with them. So
Right.
my aunt and my grandmother moving in the house, and my other aunt moved down the block. So
Okay.
my aunt and my grandma, when they found out where my neighbor was at, they were like, hey man, because the houses get sold. My grandmother got a portion of the house of the money, my grandfather got his portion. So they were renting at the time. They had only like a 4 or 5 month lease. And they were like, man, we got to get the hell out of here. We can't be in Whittier, man. So they ended up moving to Baldwin Park. But my other aunt ended up staying, and she leased a house right there for a year and a half in Whittier. So I begged my aunt, say, hey, man, let me stay here. I don't want to move to my mom. I'm going to rebel if I go there. Trust me, I'm not going to go that way.
Right.
I told her, let me go to school right here. Let me hang out. And sure enough, you know what I mean? I was able to break her. And I was doing my thing right there. I met some good camaradas in the neighborhood, and sure enough, when I got jumped into the village, they were going at war with another little clica right there. And that clica was funny because when we were living there for the little time being, we were getting harassed by these guys, right?
Right.
So these guys were harassing us, there was two clicas in one neighborhood, but one neighborhood is older than the other. You know how that goes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, exactly how that goes. So, at that time, they were me and my other homie that were good friends at that. I mean, he was my best friend. I just met him, and I felt like I knew this guy for years, man. My homeboy, Easy, rest in peace. And then after we would get harassed, and we had I had my older homeboy at that time, but we used to kick back. Before you get in the gang, there was football teams,
Right. It's
there
a
was
lot
like
before. Yeah. Yeah.
kickback
Yeah.
clubs,
Yeah.
there was drinking partners, smoking
It's a
weed.
process.
Yeah, we used to kick back with the group. It was
Right.
with the kick back with the group called the Fellas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
hold on, but before you continue, not to cut you off, bro, but can you kind of break down the demographics of Whittier, like if you can, if you even want to, a few neighborhoods, 'cause like people don't know, like you hear about Whittier and everybody goes there, but we don't know the surroundings. Like, I know Quiet Village, but any other like maybe the breakdown of Whittier, the neighborhoods over there.
Right. Yeah, well, to believe it or not, Whittier has some of the oldest gangs in LA, man. Believe it or not.
Mhm.
I call Jimtown. I mean, there are rival enemies right across the street. And I don't consider them enemies. Because you get older, man, you start
Right, right,
realizing stuff
right,
like
right.
that. So,
Just
I don't put
traditional enemies though. Just say
yeah,
that,
traditional stuff
quote
like that.
unquote.
I call them blood brothers, man. One
Right,
way or another, we're fighting for no reason, man, and we shed a lot of blood, man.
right.
They're one of the oldest gangs in Whittier, and probably one of the oldest gangs, like in LA, to tell you the truth. And then after you have, Cantaranas is pretty old. You got Los Nietos. And then
Mhm.
you have Quiet Village. You got Whittier Body Locos, Whittier Trece. You got Southside Whittier. You got Brown Brotherhood. So these are like the
Wow.
traditional gangs that I was familiar with, and that the gangs that I knew. Now,
Right.
what I mean, it's just
It's
like
a
everywhere else.
yeah.
You got other cliques that people move in, and they go and they try to establish a clique. So I remember, for instance, like when Vicky's Town moved in, when I was gang banging, and they almost made their presence there. So they were trying to take over another neighborhood, and they almost did, to tell you the truth. But I ain't gonna say no
Mhm.
names. But
Right.
thank God, thank God, politics came in. They told them, hey, you know what? You can't do that. You can't break the traditions, man. You guys got to go somewhere else. So
Right.
there's a few gangs in Whittier, but there's a lot of old tradition, man. You gotta be careful, man. Whittier Boulevard, yeah,
That's
city
what
of
I mean.
Whittier,
Like
the girls are
that's what I
pretty.
mean. Is anyone can be on Whittier, but just to be on Whittier Boulevard when that happens, it's a whole bunch of neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So it could be chaos. But what was it about Quiet Village that drew you to that neighborhood amongst all the other ones in Whittier, or was it just where you lived there? Because that's really what it boils down to, too, your area you're in or whatever. But what was it about Quiet Village that drew you to them?
Yeah, Quiet Village. Yeah, for the most part, is because you're right. I mean, my aunt lived there. The presence. I met my homeboy Easy. My homeboy Easy was born and raised right there. So people in my neighborhood, my homies knew him as a little chavalillo, a little kid.
Right,
So they kind of found out that we were like two of my homeboys that we were kicking back, that I got introduced by Edie. Now there were the fellas. We used to play football and stuff like that. My homies got jumped into Quiet Village, right? And so then they got word and wind that, hey, like, man, the Easy's trying to get jumped into another neighborhood. And then after they came to my homeboy Easy and said, hey, dog, Easy, you were raised right here, bro. Why would you get jumped into another neighborhood, dog? Now, if you're gonna get jumped into a gang, you get jumped into Quiet Village.
right,
So what I mean, I was with them at that time, and we were lucky, not for a cover and this and that. We're just making those tough choices, man. Like, man, we don't want to be from a gang, but this and that. And next thing you know, man, like I said, Easy knew the homies too. Easy, my homeboy Easy knew, because he grew up right there.
right.
So he went over there, and sure enough, one day after school, man, we had a little incident. And the homies told me, hey, you're gonna get jumped in today. And we're like, no, we're not. And then sure enough, we went to the homie's pad, and homie was fresh out of camp. And came out, my homie little Spanky, man. He was like, hey, dog, you get jumped in today. I heard it. He was talking to the homie Easy. Hey, man, hey, Easy, you been over here, blah, 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 blah. You do this thing. We got wind of this. Charlie, ain't gonna happen. You're gonna get jumped in today. And so,
Mhm.
I was right there, part of the process. I was part of the process, bro. I just ended just, I just
Right,
went,
right,
dog. It's not that I was denying it, because we were both looking for it. But you got to be
right.
careful what you look for, because what you look for, you might get what you're looking for, dog.
That part, that part. How long after? Okay. Well, take us maybe through. Okay, after you become from the neighborhood, like how does things change? Because I know a lot doesn't change, but you feel like it's something about you inside. Like when that happens, you feel like different, like a new man. I don't know this experience or how you feel, but take us through how you felt once you're from the neighborhood and how things change for you, whether good or bad, after following you becoming from the neighborhood.
Right. It's we kind of were not denying the truth, man. Like I said, we were searching for it, and we got what we found. And then after it was done and finalized, the initiation, it was like a big monkey off our back, right? So it's like we got promoted, man. We're privates now to a soldier.
Right,
Hey,
right, right,
salute.
right.
So I was accustomed to it, coming and seeing it from Boyle Heights. So I was kind of like hip to the game and what was going to happen. And he was kind of accustomed to it, because he was into the situation. He grew up right there in the hood. And then so, like you said, it was a big monkey off our back, and now we prepped ourselves for war, man. you know, to all the little youngsters that are out there, man, that are going through the situation or you know, are in the process of making a decision like that, you got to be careful what you're asking for because, you know, a lot of times we get jumped in or we get initiated because of, you know, our situations and our circumstances. And I ain't saying it was the best one, but make sure what you're getting into, man, because it comes with a lot of consequences too, you know?
That part. That part, and it's nothing you could take back, like, after, you know what I mean? So, once you do that, it's done, you know, and like he said, just make sure you're doing it for the right reason, but I know, the cold part about that, and that's kinda easier said than done because the cold part about that is most of it happens up to all of us or most of the kids when they're young, you know what I mean? So at that part, your mind is not fully matured enough to even know really what you do really what it maybe you're thinking about that time at the moment. So you're not thinking about the future, what am I really getting into? You know what I mean? So the mind is not fully matured enough to even make those decisions. So sometimes it's hard because that's what happens to most of us. You know, it happens when you're a kid, you know, not fully, you know, developed. So you do that because we all know now if we could do it over, you know, not to say we regret anything, but we would do it over, we would do things different. You know, we didn't sometimes you just didn't have to go that route. Like I could have still been cool with all my because all my homeboys anyway without doing that. But I still felt I wanted to do it and for whatever reason, you know, but um you know, it is what it is, but just I wouldn't put, you know, to the youngsters, just try to think about that, man. You know, think about what you're doing, you know what I mean, and make sure you mean what you're doing, you know what I mean, because it's a lot comes with it and you can't take that back, you know what I mean? And you gotta be
Exactly. You know,
fully about it because shit is real out there. When you sign up for that right there, that's like the armed forces, like they say, you sign up for, you know what I mean? It's real.
and they don't, and you know, it's crazy because the streets they don't care how old you are, man. You
None
know,
of that.
you get jumped in
None
at
of that.
13 years old, you know, and be expecting, you know what I mean,
You
to
can get it from a grown man. You know what I
transaction,
mean?
you know, because you know
Yeah.
the same way you're looking for them, they're looking for you, man. So
Mhm.
you know, it comes with a lot of, you know, a lot of suffering and pain, man, you know, and a lot of hardship. And yes, we could publicize it. And yes, we could say, you know, there was some good times we party with the, you know, the ladies, the girls from Whittier because they are prettier. And then we do all this, we pisteating, we smoking, we getting high. But then after that, you know, it's just like when the party's over, man, you know, it's Monday,
Yeah.
man. So, you know,
And not
you
only that, when the party's over, when you gotta go do some other shit, like when if you get locked up or whatever, you gotta do all that. It's on your own, bro. And then when you go, you know, whatever, it's like that's when you really gotta be a man, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot that comes with it, and it'll make it'll make a man out of you real quick.
real quick, man. You know, you're jeopardizing when you take this oath. You know, basically you're jeopardizing your life, man. You know, and
Yeah,
you don't realize
yeah,
it. You know, you know, you don't realize those commitments and those endeavors and those challenges that you're gonna go through. Like I said, I was going through one challenge and my endeavors and my situation, my suffering, my pain growing up, and then I was taking it to the streets. You know, but I
yeah,
didn't know how that was going to take course and what was going to happen. But as soon as I found out that I have a little, you know, say so because, you know, you're initiated a name and then there's a name that you have to live up to, you know, so that's just the street code, man, you know, straight out.
yeah.
You know, you can't be called Trigger, man, if you ain't shooting nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They got to
right.
take you back and just
Wow.
hey, what's
Right,
going
right,
on?
right,
Now we're gonna call you Oso or something, you know.
right,
So
right,
you
right.
know,
Facts, my boy.
it comes with a lot of, you know, stuff and a lot of stuff, you know, you don't really have to go to prison, man, to find this stuff out because before you go to prison, you got to become from the streets first, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
unless you take
yeah,
this streets action and these street courses, you take them to prison, man. Because if you're a solid guy in the streets, most likely you'll take that narrative to prison, man, you know, because you
yeah,
want to be gung-ho, you want to put in the work, you want to make sure your neighbor has the same good name, and you want to represent to the fullest, and man, and I was just representing to the fullest. When I made a commitment, man, to be in a gang, I made sure that I was sold out, man. I made sure I was not going to go to college. I made sure that I was not really going to be really dedicated to a job, dedicated to a woman, dedicated to a family. I wanted to be a gang member, man, straight up, man. I
right.
didn't want to be nothing else but what I was called, my name, and I took a lot of pride in that, man. And that's why I keep my name, like I say, keep it real, man, because that's what I took in, man. It's, you know, you go a lot of these days and a lot of homies, man, now, and you look at the reality from back then to days, you know, the prison yards, man, they have S and Y yards, this yard, the ratting yard, this yard. They don't make
Yeah.
gangsters like they used to, bro.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
makes you say like, wow, you know what I mean? That's what I say. Even with stuff we see out here, like not only behind prison, but out here, like the old so-called older homies or OGs, is like, wow, you know what I mean? Is you know what I mean? Some of it is sad, bro, because it makes you look like, damn, was it worth it? You know, but that's not what it is. It just shows that still
that,
individual people are who they are, and then we find out too that some of the hardest, just like we find out, like just because you kill whoever, like the hardest dude, don't make you like the realest. Some of these the hardest dudes or killers or whatever still are not. That doesn't make you a real I don't know the word to put it. You know, they try to associate just because whatever you did, you're the hardest, you're the realest, or you know what I mean. You could be the snake, the most. They could be the rats. They could be a lot of the pieces of shit. You know what I mean? Just because you did all this, that
a lot
don't
of them are.
solidify you. You know what I
A lot
mean?
of them are. A lot of them are,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
A lot of the integrity and a lot of values. You know, not to put nobody down. You know, any race down, any gang member down. But you know who you are. You know, keep it real with that. You know,
Right.
so. You know, we're just trying to. That's why. You know, I'm. You know how they say we're unique. You know, there's only a few of us. You know, there's not a many of us like the way we used to be, man. To me, it was serious, man. You know, I've been shot 3 times. I've been blasted point blank many times. I've seen death many times. I didn't go to
Right.
prison. You know,
Right.
I went to
Right.
county jail, I went to Supermax and stuff like that. But you learn stuff from the streets. You learn how to survive from the streets, man. You take that with you wherever you go, man. I went to Europe and I took the gang mentality over there, you know, straight up, dog,
Wow.
because you know we were sleeping on the streets and or not on the streets. We were sleeping at the bus booth, you know, the bus stops and stuff like that, waiting for
Right.
our bus the next morning. But you'll be surprised, man. Let me tell you,
I think I heard
took
you talk about that before. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. I want to
yeah,
get into that too,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Being
yeah.
in
I
you.
took that. Yeah, I took that to the streets over there. Me and my cousin, we encountered a situation over there, and we handled it like business, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
real
yeah. I
dogs.
did hear you talk about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got to talk about that. We'll get there. But Big D, back to after when you joined your neighborhood, right? Like when of course you went through a lot, but when was it like early for you when you realized, okay, you know, you be from the neighborhood, you kick it, you know, it's a few fun times first, you know, you kick it, party, whatever, you kick with the homies, with the females or whatever, have a good time, whatever, spray on the wall or whatever. But what was that point when, you know, something happened where you said, man, this shit is real, bro. Like this is for real now. Like I really know what I signed up for now. Like this shit is real. When was that point for you?
It was the first 5 days, man. The first 5 days. So me and the homie, my homie Easy, we got jumped in that day. So that's when it was real
Right.
for me. We kept it real from the beginning, dog. You know. So you know what I mean. The homies were there. They give you saludos. Yeah, you're from the neighborhood. This is your name. This is your dog. You know what I mean. And this is our enemies. And this is the what is and the what nots. Okay.
Right.
So we went back to the homies' pad. They said the homies are gonna be right here later on in the apartments. The older homies, so come back. Me and my homies, we go back to the homie's pad. We're all beat up. We go to his mom's room. You know what I mean? His mom's checking us out. Like, there's something different about you guys. What are you guys
Right.
doing? You know? So, you know, we go in there and we're just pumped up. Like, damn, dog, we're from the barrio now. How the hell is happening? You know what? F it, dog. Let's run
Right.
with it. Huh? You know, let's run with it. We go back later on that day. Boom. Sure enough, that day we get there, things are popping up, bro. Our enemies are over there buying beer in our neighborhood. The homies going out there, we're like, damn, we go out there like soldiers, and we're like, damn, already this is taking place. Cops come, we
Right.
gotta run from the cops. It was, man, it's like a movie, you know, like the homie Bandit from Lowell Street, dog. Big shout out
Right.
to
Right.
Bandit. He ain't
Shout out
telling
to
no lies.
Bandit. He
He's
says he
telling you
sends
the
your love. He sends his love to you too.
yeah, yeah, you know, he's telling you the truth, bro. You know what I mean? Ain't no
Right.
lies in his story, bro. His book tells it all, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we go down there. It's just different area codes, dog, straight up, homie, you know? But we go over there, man. It was live action, and that's how I knew, man, it was real, man, you know? So, you know, we went back, and then I think my 5th day, you know, we're walking down the alley, right?
Mhm.
And my homies were ahead of me. And then after, you know, a car comes in, and, you know, back in the day, you know, those nice, sweet Honda Accords, man, you know what I mean? Those 90 something, all
Yes,
swooped up,
sir.
ready to go with the Dayton's on. Homeboy, I just see a hand coming out with a big cuete, man. And my homeboys left me, literally. I was just 5 minutes in the game. It's not that they left me. They just
Right. They
took
just took off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
so when homie was coming by, and all you just hear is like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, damn, bro, I'm in Afghanistan, and ain't gonna lie, at a young age, 15 years old, man, I
Yeah.
panicked and I got stuck, bro. I got
Right.
stuck, and God that I knelt down on my knees, and the car passed me, bro. Literally passed me in the alley, and they took off, and I was like, and then when I saw everybody was gone, I ran to the alley. I saw my homies peep out. We look out. We look. Oh, dog, they didn't get you. All right, homie. You know what I'm saying? We went back, you know what I mean? I seen the rainbow, bro. I seen the bullets for some way, man. Somebody was praying for me that day. You know, I seen the bullets go like this when I was kneeling down, man.
Right.
And that's how I knew for reals. This is,
Wow.
you know what I mean? This ain't no joke.
Wow.
That was only my 5th day being 15 years old, man. And I was just like,
That's
that was the beginning,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy because that's like similar to me, like not exactly, but kind of
We
how
all
the
relate,
first
dog. We
thing
all
happened too. You know what I'm saying? Seriously though, well, I was with my boy Tweety. You know my boy Tweety, free my boy Tweety.
Hey, I
And the
believe
same,
you.
yeah, and it's like same shit. You know, I was 15, is the same way. And shit, you know, shit, bullets rang out. You know what I mean? And I was just like, you know what I mean? Everyone kind of scattered, but I scattered my own way. I was just like, my homeboy came back and got me like, woo, bring your scary ass out here. Woo, 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 woo. I'm like, dude, you feel me?
Hey, G-Lew, get
But he
like this.
came
Hey,
and
get
got
over
me.
here.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
over
yeah.
here,
You know what I mean? But
get
he
over
came and
here.
got me though. You know what I mean? And it was just like, okay, I said this shit is real, bro. And it was like you said, it was only like a week or two. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this shit is real.
Yeah, so from there, man, you know what I mean? We got soldier mode, man. Basically, you got to pull up to a soldier, man. You know, we don't want no privates in this army. We don't want no weaklings in the army. We want a soldier,
Right,
bro. So you got to
right,
follow suit, bro. You know what I mean? Also, you know, you meet the older homies. We have a style. We were customized. Every gang has almost the same method, but they don't have the same traditions, the same ideology, the same beliefs, and everything. I'm sorry, everybody's different. This gang don't care. For instance, they don't care how the way they look and dress in the neighborhood. My neighborhood did. We wanted to be bald. We wanted to be recognized. We wanted to be tattooed. We wanted our clothes to be ironed. We wanted new shoes. We wanted, you know, everything was just solidified, man. You know, we wanted to be
right.
target,
Oh yeah,
basically, you
but
know.
the shit, like
We,
you said, Tweety, the homie. Oh, who is that? Love 2018 done. My bad, homie. I was just reading. They
yeah,
mentioned my homeboy Tweety, homie Tweety, BCB child sister. My bro Grumpy. Remember? Oh, okay, what's up?
yeah.
What's up? What's up? Okay,
Life.
okay, okay. Hey, I talked to Tweety. Yeah, he called me yesterday, man. Actually, man. You know, he's in the feds. But you know, he didn't get as much time as we thought, so he'll be home. You know, soon, not soon, but he'll be home. You know what I mean? So shout out to my boy Tweety. Shout out to my boy Child though, man. I want to get my boy on here one day, man. I know he doesn't like all this shit, but I would love to get my boy on here one day to tell his story, man, because my boy Child has a deep story too,
Yeah,
man.
I told him too, man.
Project baby.
I almost had him because he's a YA baby too. I wanted him to come out in Incredible Javier
Yeah.
too, you know? And
Yeah,
they
they need
got
to hear my
stories.
boy. They need to hear my boy's story, and then he could tell the story. You know what I mean? Because he was day
Hey,
one. You know what I
real
mean?
story, dog. A real story.
Yeah, man. So man, Child, if you're out there, man, we need you, man. Come
And you
tell the
know what?
story, bro.
G-Lo, you know what's funny, big dog? Is
What's
like I
up?
said, we're all related, homie. You know
Yeah.
that's
That's
my
crazy
brother.
when I found out you knew. Yeah, yeah. Then my
That's
homeboy
my
Brooks, like you
brother-in-law.
know,
You know?
yeah,
His
that's
brother
crazy.
Grumpy's my brother-in-law. My wife
Yeah,
is your older homie who made the game. That's her
yeah,
baby's dad.
yeah,
First
yeah.
relationship. It's a
That's
small world,
crazy.
homie. You know?
Small world. Yeah, it is. It is. And now we get to, you know what I mean, break bread together, bro. So that's beautiful, man. Tell us too, Big D, not only coming up in Whittier in the neighborhood and all that, but once you were old enough, or when did you realize that you were not only in Whittier, Quiet Village, but Whittier Boulevard, the significance of that strip and the monumentalness and the history and everything. When did you realize that part and start hanging out on the boulevards or whatever on the weekends? When did
Right.
that come about?
So traditionally, going back way back, Whittier Boulevard was considered like the old cowboy and westerns particle of the movement, right? As the world tried to develop themselves, we'll say like, has anybody seen the movie Tombstone? We all have, right? You have
Right,
saloons and you have this and that. We had the whorehouses there, the prostitutes' house. Whittier Boulevard was custom to like that. Jimtown was a bar back then, back in way back. That's how they kept their name. I don't know if it was Jamestown and they turned into Jimtown, but that's how far their roots go back. And as far as right there, where you exit off Whittier Boulevard, you go to the left or to the right. The train track used to be a trailway. You know what I mean, for the people who used to come into the town and used to be bringing their agriculture. So there was a lot of trading and custom. It was just like Tombstone right there. And
Right.
if you notice, there's Pio Pico Park right there, where Pio Pico Mansion used to be. So he
Right.
was like the last governor of Mexico who the United States lived there. That was housing and doing the government transaction. It's like how they have an ambassador to this country, and that he was like that to Mexico here. So that's why I like to go into history and roots, man. And everybody that's out there, man, before you get into something, know your roots, man. Know where you come from, man. Now when I tell people, when they tell me, back then they used to tell me, where you from, man? It's just like, what do you mean? Like, I throw out my gang name. And it's like, I had older people telling me, now, dog, like, where you
Right.
from? And like,
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, where does your family come from?
Right.
I think Mexico. Well, what part? And then you start thinking, man, your mind starts setting like, damn, man, I don't even know. Like, that's education 101, like, man, I
Right.
don't even know. So later on, I found out that my grandfather was from a town called Aguascalientes in Mexico. And I don't know where my grandmother's really from, because I know she was a generation that was born here. But Whittier has a lot of roots. Before all that cruising and all that stuff, Whittier has
Right.
a lot of roots, man,
That's
So a
deep
lot
right
of history
there.
work there.
Yeah. Right. That's deep right there. And also, still, I want to get your answer about the boulevard and everything, the strip. But like you said, the history and the everything about Whittier. Um, what was it about Whittier and like Whittier Boulevard? Because like you said, Whittier Boulevard, you think of the city of Whittier, but we all know Whittier Boulevard stretches through different cities and all of that. You know what I mean? And it's still that much significant in that city because it's Whittier Boulevard. What is the history behind Whittier Boulevard in that sense?
Man, traditionally, man, it's a Chicano or African American, even whites, man. Traditionally, it's like Disneyland, man. As far as like cruising, man, lowrider comes from a lot of that part right there. A lot of people to this day, up to this day, they cruise Whittier Boulevard as a gathering, as a unity, man. Still with all kind of races and customs, man. People come together. It's family orientated. We bring our child, man. You bring your food, and you're looking at what history was back then and how history is now, and you're trying to teach the new generation of the custom of the cars and the beauty of it. What year is it? How to make it hop and everything, but. Man, Whittier Boulevard was back then. You got to remember those oldie concerts, man. Those shows
Right.
that used to come. Everybody would be like, "Man, where's the spot at after the concert, or where's the party at after the party?" Whittier
Right.
Boulevard, you know what I mean? You want to go after a concert, man. The oldies concert and everything, man. Everybody would take it down, cruising down Whittier, man. So, it was pretty crazy, man. Because I mean, how's the easy way that I could explain it? We knew that everybody from different areas was coming towards that way, man.
Right.
So we were pretty informant, we were pretty understanding. So that means, hey, homie, there's a car show next weekend, dog. You better be in the barrio, homie. You know what I mean? You better become suited and booted. All right.
Hey, hey, Big D, how about on the flip side though? Not to get negative with it, but on the flip side, like when the shit was cracking, like in the 80s and 90s, being at Whittier Boulevard, like you said, was there for cruise, and for the most part, it was that. But it was a lot of bullshit as well because a lot of different neighborhoods and everyone's cruising there. So the flip
Well,
side of that, tell us
that's what I
about
was
what you've seen over the years, or some of that part that was all bad as well, with
that's
everyone being in
hey,
one place.
yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Oh, okay,
So
go ahead, bro. My
yeah,
bad.
so that's what I'm getting to. So we knew that everybody after the concert was going to go down to Whittier Boulevard. And at that time, we already knew we were going to learn how to be militia.
Okay.
What I mean by that? Soldiers, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we knew there's going to be confrontation somewhere, some way. If you want to earn your stripes, this is the place to do it right now, Whittier Boulevard. And sure enough, because you got to understand, Whittier extends from different cities, like you mentioned, right?
Right.
It starts from the city of East LA, and then it goes into the city of Montebello, then it goes into the city of Pico, and it ends in Whittier. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the ending point was right there in our neighborhood, right? When you hit Norwalk Boulevard, everybody turned around and they did the whole cycle again. It's like when you go to Disneyland, you take that ride and you do that whole
Right.
circle,
Right.
So at that time, guys will come in, because the attraction for men is women, and the attraction for women was men. And everybody was out there on the boulevard. Okay, so we had guys, that were stuck on the lights, and we would walk and march on the boulevard looking for trouble, man, trying to size up. I seen the toughest, like you mentioned, the meanest looking, the ugliest looking, the craziest looking, and we hit them up, man, turned into a sausage, bro. No disrespect, man.
Right.
Still
Right.
no disrespect, man, but
Right.
you gotta know where you're going and what you're doing. If you're gonna be a gang member, you gotta live it to the fullest, man. It's just straight up, man. And that's where we took advantage, and we encountered a lot of guerrilla warfare, and we learned the tactics. We learned everything else, who to hit up, who was our enemies, who wanted some, and we made a name for ourselves. It's just like, you got to be careful. Don't go down Whittier Boulevard, especially down Quiet Village on a car show, because you will get blasted on. You know, if you want something, you know, you want some, get some, you know, straight up. And that's why up to this day, you know, if you encounter somebody from Quiet Village, man, we're always people are always looking for us, man. We're like a target, bro. You know, it's just like, man, if you catch one of those guys, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That means you did something.
Even me as a youngster, homie, like you said, and that's why I even asked you about the demographics and all the different neighborhoods from Whittier, because I heard about a few of them, but I always like heard Quiet Village stuck out. You know what I mean? That name, you know what I mean? That neighborhood. So what was it about Quiet Village, and give some history on Quiet Village, like the name, why it got the name Quiet Village.
All right. So to be honest with you, just like every other gang, we're descendants from our rival, bro. You know, a lot of gangs are made from this gang, that gang. You know, it was just a clique. We were a clique, you know. But actually, there was 8 brothers from Jimtown, and then after 4 brothers are like, man, for some whatever reason, you know, they didn't want to be part of. They went across the street and made their own clique. And back then, you know, for most of our part, there was a lot of agriculture growing up, right? A lot of farm, orange fields, this field, whatever. So they saw it like, hey, there's quiet over there. You know, it looks very quiet. So let's go on that, cross the street, make up our old barrio. It's quiet. And then it looked like a village because like all the agriculture, the trees and everything. So they say, we'll call it Quiet Village. So that's how our name was established. And then after that was done, like I said, tradition. So we've been around. If Jimtown's been around from the old days, my neighbor has been out just as little longer than that, you know. So Quiet Village goes back to the late 40s, early mid 40s. And man, it's been thriving since there, man, you know. And I have a lot of homies that have been busted from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and all the way to this day. So we're not just no like new neighborhood that was just brought like in the 90s or 80s or 70s. No disrespect to the neighborhoods that came up at that time, but you know, we're a pretty old neighborhood, eh?
That's what I said that for, because I always heard Quiet Village like respected, you know, one of those neighborhoods that you heard the name, you know what I mean? And
some people have
that was the one from Whittier. But I did used to think, I don't know why, like that's why I asked you the origins or the history behind the name, because I don't know if I thought or someone told me, or I used to think that Quiet Village was in the like the projects or you know, area like that, apartments.
Yeah, because you got to remember back in the days, right there in Primera Flats or Cuando, they used to have a Liso village.
Right.
And then and then after there's a clique over there, and also in Whittier, there's a gang called Whittier Village.
Okay.
So they just took the quiet out, you know.
Okay,
So it could be confusing at that time, you know. So there's not too many. It's a unique name, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's pretty unique, man. But we do got a song, man. You know what I mean? It's called Quiet Village. And a lot of us, a lot of you guys heard it, you know. So we got a lot of things, a lot of names that are out there that were recognizable, you know.
Right. Who were some of like being in Whittier exclusively and probably dealing with the neighborhoods and rivals around that area, but being on Whittier as well, and you know how things being in jail or whatever, who were some of your allies or people that you guys associated with or became enemies with from, like, say, a whole different city or not close to you guys just because of what, you know what I mean, maybe the boulevard brought, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be, or neighborhoods that you were aware of outside of Whittier?
Right. Pretty much we were self-motivated, self-represented, self-acquired. You know, at that time, you know, there was a lot of gangs in that area that got along. They have brothers and sisters, family members, and stuff like that. So, you know, they always clicked up, and both sides. You got to understand. I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but every gang has its every city has its dominant gang. You know what I mean? So this city has this gang. You know already not to mess with that gang. That city has that gang. You know, so I would want to say at that time, we were like the dominant gang that much. Not out of pride, not out of arrogance. Because at that, especially in the west side of Whittier, you know, I know South Side Whittier was pretty big at that time over there. But no disrespect to anybody else, but we were doing the one that was.
I know that, and I'm not from Whittier. I was close by, but that was the name I heard out of Whittier. You know what I mean? You know, Whittier, the city. You know what I mean? Quiet Village for sure.
Yeah, I say that because you got to understand. I lived it. I'm not telling a fairy tale story. I have camaradas that pretty much can back up what I'm saying. But we were there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, springtime, summertime, wintertime, fall time. It was just that's how we build a commodity in a relationship, man, you know?
Right.
Because I only knew these guys as my brothers. And in order to be from Quiet Village, man, you know, we got to know you, bro. We just didn't accept anybody in our neighborhood, man. You know, we didn't want, I won't say the rejects. We just didn't want the weak. And then the ones that were in, you know what I mean? You realize you'll know them within a week, bro. You know, a week or two, man, you'll find out, man, like, man, this guy ain't gonna make it, bro.
Right.
And sure enough, man. And so, you know, you know how it is, G-Lew. You got your weekend warriors. You know, you this and
Right.
that.
Right.
At that
Exactly.
time, as more I was endeavoring and getting cultivated, and more I was finding this neighborhood amusing, the more I wanted to represent just the QV. I didn't want to represent not even my name. I just go, hey, where you from? Quiet Village, homie. You know what I mean? What's up? And it solidified. I was in a mindset and a tone where, you know, I don't want to say I was deceiving myself or lying to myself, but that's what I really believed in, man. You know, with no benefits coming from it. You know, I was just keeping it real, man. And a lot of us were, all of us, all my homies, my generation were like that, bro. You know, I could depend on them. If we had a complejo with each other, man, hey, what's up, homie? We ain't gonna go kill each other. We're not gonna go blast each other. You know, let's go down to the alley, big dog, and we're gonna duke it out until, hey, man, until one of us gets tired. Or you know, we'll run it back tomorrow, homie. You know what I'm saying? We'll run it back. But when the crap came down, when the shit got down, dude, you know, hey, dog, we had each other's back, and that it was a brotherhood that you know what I mean. You had to be strong-minded, man. You know, neighborhoods. You know how neighborhoods are. Neighborhoods have, you know, they represent. They have a song representing them. They have a team representing. They have colors representing them. You know, we had a animal representing. You know, some neighbors, you know, they represent an animal. We had the lion. You know what I mean? Quiet Village is the lion because there's a song called Quiet Village, and it talks about, I don't know if you ever heard of the old day, the tokens, you know, and that song represents the lion. So we all consider ourselves lions, bro. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you have a problem, put the guns down, put this down. Let's get them up, homie. You know what I mean? That's what we're all about, man. Just doing, keeping it real like that. So, you know, we had a strong brotherhood, man. It was crazy.
Right. Something you said earlier made me think about this, like you just said, you want solid homeboys from your neighborhood. Like, do you think, like, because this has been debatable, but it's been proven that, like you said, you can have different neighborhoods. You can have big neighborhoods, like you said, whatever city is going to be a dominant neighborhood. You can have many other little gangs. But all these gangs exist, and I think it boils down to, like you said, again, that's why you want solid individuals, because like, say, even like the smaller gangs, people wonder how they survive or how they do this. It's solid individuals, because even in a big gang, you can have 100 or 200 dudes, but it's probably 10 or 20 real solid ones, are the ones that's really putting in the work out of those 200. So that's what makes it. So would you attribute that to even like smaller gangs being able to sustain and be, because, you know, it's smaller gang compared, then it's big hoods with thousands, but, you know, but still it's these smaller gangs that compete and are relevant. So what do you have to say about that?
Look, it doesn't matter how big and how smart you are. You know, it just takes one killer, bro. That's it.
Right.
You know, one killer, man, will go out there and put some work and cause havoc, make the other neighborhood scream and run like there ain't no tomorrow. You say Quiet Village, and they're running, dog. You say Brick City, they're running, bro. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. It just takes one guy. You know what I mean? And the more you have, the more losses you're gonna take, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And that's just basically what it is. It's just who's the killer in your neighborhood. And my neighborhood, man, we used to fight for the guns, bro. You know, straight up, man. Like, what you, because we didn't trust each other at first. You can't trust nobody in combat. Let me tell you, man, when you're getting shot at, when somebody comes at you with a point blank and they're ready to smoke you, bro, let me see how much you're gonna squeeze, bro. You know what I mean? How much you're gonna squeeze, or how much you're gonna say your neighborhood. You can't even say your neighborhood when somebody has a gun pointed to your head, bro. You know what I mean? Because you see death coming to you so fast that it happens so fast, and you don't know how to take it. You don't know how to receive it. And the only way you learn how to receive it, if you're out there every day, fighting those challenges, getting shot at every day, running every day, taking hits every day, getting jumped every day, that's the way you reciprocate. So you learn the streets, bro. You know, that's what you call it. It's the street knowledge. Like Sugar Free says, street gospel every day. You know, you learn the slang, you learn the terminology, you just learn how to hustle, you learn how to survive. You don't need to go to prison for that. But you take that mentality to prison, bro. You take that mentality to YA. You take that to wherever you go. You take it to Europe, bro. I took it to Europe, bro.
And I'm glad you said that again and keep saying that. Most of the times we don't have to go to, if you look at half of the stuff, like a lot of homies get caught up and a lot of shit is dumb and you get caught up, but a lot of times it's almost to the point homies want to go to like they're seeking that because that's gonna validate them to say, okay, at least I got that out the way. A lot of times homies almost send themselves to prison. You know what I mean? With dumb shit like, okay, I had to do it either sooner or later. And a lot of times we don't have to even go that route. You know what I mean? I wish this shit when you have those felonies on your record, man, how they affect you and all these things, but we don't realize that at the time, but a lot of times we think we need to go to prison or get locked up once or twice or to prove, and a lot of times we don't, man. You know what I mean? And don't have to, you know.
Hey, G-Lew, you think the guys these days, this generation now, cares if an older homeboy's done 30 years and he comes out and trying to tell him something what to do? You think he's gonna care, dog? Come on, these days, the validate the
that shit don't
respect.
mean that's why I say it's worthless, because there's a lot of homies that had to do 30 or they're just coming home now and it don't even mean anything anymore. Like they just did that. Not to say they did it in vain, but you know what I mean, to these youngsters, it don't mean shit, bro. They see the money, the paper, or whatever's popping. You know what I mean? They don't care about all that, homie.
I
And they
mean,
don't even respect you if you don't
we're
even to
worried
them
about
if you don't have money.
Yeah, we're worried about you more when you come out and be like, oh, you know what, homie, we heard this about you. We heard this about you. Your jacket's more colder and dirtier than mine's, big dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's crazy, man. The customs and the traditions, some people, you know what I mean, they have their differences and their different aspects of it, man. But some things change and some things don't, man. And I can only tell mine's, eh?
Right. Yeah, facts. What do you think about well, first before we get there, what do you think it takes for a man, or say you even personally, to get to that point? Like, what point was it for you, being that you went through everything you did? We didn't even get through the whole story, like all the shit you've been through or whatever. We'll go back to that if you want. Hey, there's my baby Nay Love. What's up, Nay? But like at what point, like, or what was it for you that clicked or whatever, that you made some type of change in your life, you know what I mean, from doing the everyday shit you did, you know what I mean, to maybe becoming a grown man or whatever it was for you, that light switch or whatever. When was that, or what was that for you?
I'll tell you what, G-Lew, the little part that I've been talking about, you know what I mean, somewhat, and the little bit I've been sharing with you and the audience and everything else. And I started taking life real serious is when my cousin got smoked,
Okay.
My best friend, they got smoked, there was a double homicide.
Rest in peace.
So and my cousin, he was just like me, man. He was out there where every day. See, when somebody's putting work, when you're getting shot up, lit up, when you got scars and wounds to fulfill and tell people, just like they go in prison, they say, well, I've been busted. Here's my papers, homie. Well, you know what? My papers are, look how many times I've been shot. Look how many ligaments my torn, my ACLs and this and that. I got just much stripes as you do, bro. And when my cousin got killed, that was it, man. My cousin got killed. It really scarred me, man. You see people, that's what I'm trying to say. They don't know the endeavors and then the responsibility and what could happen, because, being a gang member, man, you're a soldier, man, straight up, just like the army says, you go to war, man, there might be a day where you might not come back home, and it's going to affect you. And it's going to, it affected me real hard. I see my aunt suffer from it. I see my whole family, we suffered, man. To this day, I think of my cousin every day, man. And, I started realizing at that time, I didn't realize, you know what I mean? Because I didn't care, because all I sought was revenge, bro. You hurt me and I'm gonna go hurt them now. Payback's a mofo, dog. You know what I mean? And pretty much, we did what we did. And that wasn't even justification at all, bro. There's no gratitude, because then you start thinking, man, like, man, the way they hurted me, I'm hurting somebody else's family too. What was the cause of that, man? That didn't take nothing back from me. That didn't make me feel better. That didn't bring my cousin back. See, people got to validate life, man, and whatever you do, man, people got to appreciate life. And I understand that sometimes life could be sucks, man. And our upbringing, man, I understand it, man. A lot of us are are born into broken families, man, and the shit that we encounter and the things that we see at a young age and the things that happen to us at a young age, we take that and we try to mend it and heal that wound, like me and you probably, trying to find healing in the streets. And what actually it did, it persuaded me to encounter more pain, more misery. Now I'm a young man, a young adult, and this is what I'm going through. That's not typical. That's not normal, man. So you know, I started realizing, man, that the memories and the haunting and the fears and the anger and the rage and the frustration is when my cousin got killed, man, and my best friend together, man. When you start losing people, man, and I had then, you know, like I said, we didn't go too back, so let me fill it in, man. You know,
Okay.
when people start dying, and you start realizing, man, that, hey, you know, because when you're close to somebody and you build a commodity and a relationship with your homeboy, it's a brotherhood. We had a brotherhood, you know. We were not just like this big gang. I don't care about that, I don't care about him. I don't care. No, we cared about each other, and to this day we still do, but with problems, you know. There's a lot of confliction, a lot of disagreements, and things that homies have when you grow up still to the day. But when you have relationships and tight relationships, man, you know, when somebody's gone and the things that you encounter, the things you see, like I said, you know, that's when I started realizing, like, oh, snap, bro, you know, this is for reals, man, you know. So I had to take a look back and be like, man, I had to go back and refer to what my grandmother was saying. I had to look at my life like, man, my dad was in a gang. He passed away. Is that what my life's going to be? So am I next? You know what I mean? Is this going to happen to me? Is this my reality? You know, I never been to college. You know, I only have somewhat relationships. I haven't even been across the world and, you know, exploit this and experience that. Like, you know, it made me realize a lot of things, man. But at that time, I was still in that entrapment where, you know, my cousin got killed. I just, at that time, for like 5-6 years, all I wanted was revenge, man.
Wow. So even so what was it like? Was it someone that was there with you? Like was it someone, a mentor or a big homie or family member, somebody? Because it takes someone to still help you get through this and help you, like, even if it's something to help you do better or do this that's other than this. You know what I mean? So who was that for you, or what was, again, like, that point for you to really, you know, make some changes? We can want to do it and think about it, but until it happens or until we get that help we need, like, it doesn't happen, especially if we're still trapped in this you know, this environment or the cycle. You know what I mean? So what was it for you?
Like I said, going on to take it back a little, go back a little bit more on memory lane when my upbringing. So when my mother got remarried, you know, I remember my mom overdosed, man. You know, I was coming from school one day, right? I was about 9-10 years old. And then after, when I see my mom coming down the stairs, I mean, she was like, man, I could see hell all over her, man. What I mean by that, her soul was in limbo. There was a judgment that was going to be there, man. You know, whether she was going to pass away right there, my mom was going to die before me, or whatever she was believing and asking for that day was going to save her. And basically, my mom, you know what I mean, was asking God to save her, bro. And you know, she pleaded out, and then you know, from that day, she didn't. They gave her a hot one, man. They put a speedball on her with heroin. It was my first time my mom shooting up, and she almost passed away from that. So she told God, you know, she made an oath to God, hey, you know, from this day I'll go to church and I'll never do that. So my mom and them, like I said, you know, going back, like I said, we used to go to church and all that stuff. But you know, I was like the prodigal son. I didn't want to believe in that. But I remember, man, when you're little, you still remember things, man. You know, and what I say by that, a seed was planted. You know, my mom used to take me to church. I used to hate it, but when I used to go there, I used to see that the peace. There was peace. There was some kind of balance in there. You know, so I was just like, hey, man, this God thing is not for me, but you know, it's still a little attracted here. You know, so it's like, I was a little attracting because, you know, we used to sing the songs and they used to talk about, oh, there's one guy died for everything. Oh, there's one man, this white guy died. Jesus died for the fatherless. You know, I didn't know, like, man, you know what? I realized that I was fatherless, you know, and this, so the way the Bible predicts is that seed was planted in me, man, you know. So going back into the future, what I was saying, like you said, was there somebody that talked to me? Was there somebody that gave me some advice? Yeah, you know, there was, you know, before this person, my grandmother passed away, it was my grandmother, bro, because at the end of all the gang banging, you know, like I say, man, 85% of gang banging is hardship, bro.
Yeah,
You get that
it
nice,
is. Yeah, right.
hey, homie, we're gonna
It's
party.
glamorized, and that's why I say it's glamorized. And you look at the movie or whatever, even us, we think, you know what I mean, that, like you said, that's a small percentage of you know, the fun times and all that. That's a small percentage of like you said, the other shit. You know what I mean?
Sleeping
Go
on the
ahead,
side of
bro.
the freeways, sleeping in abandonment
Yeah.
pads, you know, getting older, man, cops looking for you every day, you know what I mean, tearing your clothes up, messing your new clothes up every day, having nowhere to go, especially when you start being a bigger homie. You can't, the little homie can't take you to a big homie to his house no more because the mom's gonna, dad are gonna be like, who the hell is this dude? Hey? Oh, you're
Yeah.
influencing this guy. Get the hell out
Yeah.
of here. Cops raiding your pad at 5 o'clock in the morning, raiding your van, your abandoned pad. Like, and then all you have to do is resort. If you want to stay away, you don't want to be hungry. You got to do some drugs just to do that. Methamphetamine will keep you up for like 3-4 days.
Man.
I mean, you destroy your body, you destroy your mindset, man. You know, you're cultivating bad endeavors, and then you get psychopathic. You know what I mean? You do so many drugs, you start hearing things talking to you, demons start talking to you, this start talking to you. It's just start being a spirit. Later in my latter years and my ties that I was seeing, you know, homies start dying, homies start getting busted. I started seeing the reality of it, bro.
Right.
I just didn't want to accept it. And I remember one day going to my grandma, and I told her, you know what, Grandma, I'm tired, eh? You know, I'm tired, Grandma. I saw my homies, everybody at that time, we had a green light. You know, everybody was just, you know what I mean? They just put us in a big hole, man, you know? So like E40 says, it's about choices. Eh?
That part. It's about choice. And then I want to go back to, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to ask you about that. I forgot about that green light issue with your neighborhood. But again, too, the part where you said, like, just growing up, getting older, and realizing, you know, it's a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? And not only being from a neighborhood, but like you say, once you experience those hardships, whether it be you're on drugs, whether it be you're homeless, whether it be you have internal issues, or whatever the case, or you're locked up, you realize too that the homies aren't really there. You know what I mean? And I only say this too, I bring this up because a lot of times, especially outside people that interpret that or say that, you know, mean in a bad way. And then you really
Yeah,
look at it, it's
yeah,
not
you're
in a
right.
bad way. The homies don't, I don't
Not that
think
they
no
don't want
homie
to be
means
there.
they don't want to. It's just how
Yeah.
things are. You don't realize, like, if
The
you're
skin
locked
color,
up,
yeah,
homies on the street, they may not have the money, or a lot of times homie definitely don't want to come to the county or come up there, be around they may have warrants, so they can't visit you. And they can't write. A lot of times when homies are in the streets, especially in this gang shit, in this fast life, they're living that life
don't
for the
expect
day. They don't
nothing.
have time to be really,
Nothing.
you know, writing letters or doing all this. If they think about it, they can send money or whatever every now and then. But for the most part, bro, you know what I mean? You're gonna be by yourself. And I don't think, like, sometimes it's misinterpreted like they don't care. It's not that. It's just that
They have their
out of
own
sight, out of
problems.
mind, bro. Yeah,
They have their own
they have their own
problems.
problem. But this is the reality, though. Is what I'm saying is when these things happen, your homie's not gonna be there. When you get locked up, you got to be a man on your own. You don't have a gun. You know what I mean? You may be outnumbered. Your homies may not be there. May not be no one from your neighborhood. Whatever the case may be, but you have to be a man for real now. You know, so
That's what
it's
happened to
real.
me, bro. Hey, I was, you know how they say the last man standing? That I was one of those guys, man. Homies were getting busted. Homies were dying. Homies, you know what I mean? They were wifing it up. You know, they have family to take care of.
Right.
You know, I'm not mad at them. You know, it was a choice that I had to make in the end. And at that point, I told myself, and I had to go to, you know, like I said, big shout out to grandparents, man, because they're older and wiser, man. You know, and they'll tell you, and they guided. My grandmother helped me and guided me, and she said, you know what? I remember coming to her and say, you know what, Grandma, it is my situation. I've been shot at, bricked at. You know, I've been shot. You know, I've been almost stabbed. I've been in many fights. You know, it's just I'm tired. You know, and she said, you know what, Emil, you need to make peace with within yourself. And she goes, you know, first of all, you need to make peace with your mom. And, you know, I was just like, what the hell? Nah, I don't want to make peace with my mom. I hate my mom. You know what I mean? I don't love her. She remarried. She left me. She did this. She did that. She said, nah, man, you need to make peace and you need to forgive. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people around these days. You look at our upbringing, our youth now, the way the world's revolving and socializing and everything is, man, they don't got time for compassion. They don't have time
Nah,
for any of that
nah.
good deeds, that stuff. They don't. Everybody
Yeah, a
now
lot of
these
the
days,
morals are out the window,
all they
bro.
worry is their effing damn self, bro.
Yeah, self.
It's just
Yeah,
all this. All they
yeah,
care about themselves, bro.
yeah.
You know,
That's very true.
so
Morals are out the window. You know,
morals
we
are out
were
the window.
raised with morals and respect. You could still be hard, gangbang, whatever, but you still had morals.
Hey,
You had certain respect. You know,
I mean,
now that's like out the window.
that's the way I live my life now, G-Lew. You know what I mean? I come up to people, man. I don't got time to mad dog you. You want to mad dog me? I'll
Right,
turn my
right,
cheek, bro. But come
right.
to me as a
Yeah, I
man.
don't care about all that. As long as you don't put your hands, you know, none of that, bro. Yeah, exactly.
I get it. You know, I could look a little intimidating. I'm a big guy, this and that, but get to know me as a person, bro. You know, I'll cry with you. I'll pray with you. I'll hug you. I'll love you, man. You know, I'm a big teddy bear, bro. You know what I mean? But as soon as you disrespect me, bro, for no reason, I'm gonna let you know why. You know what I mean? And after that, you know what I mean? I don't have all the tattoos never in prison, but you know, I'm not the best fighter, but I'm gonna come at you like a lion, bro. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
Hakuna Matata,
Right.
bro.
Right.
Hakuna Matata, bro. You know, straight up.
Right.
You know,
Right. I
so
feel you, bro.
but
I mean, you gotta
you
defend
know,
yourself.
I'm all about integrity, man. I'm all about help. That's where my channel goes. And I try to bring awareness in small things. I family tied, and to tell you the truth, I don't have this big old thing. Not a lot of subscribers because people are just into the bullshit, bro.
The
You know what I'm saying?
bullshit, yeah.
They're into
Yeah,
the
that's
stuff
true.
that doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, that's very true.
Maybe I'll probably get 1,000 subscribers now because they say, "Oh, damn, Big D cuss." You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is.
Right.
Bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm not gonna tell you something that I never done before. You know, and if it doesn't intrigue you or make you happy, or you don't find your interest, there's always a G-Lew channel.
No, I feel you, bro, because I feel the same way. A lot of times I even talk about that, like, you know, I say the same thing. I never be the one to promote bullshit or talk about this or that or create fake narratives for clickbait. You know, none of that. Like you
You
said,
ain't
and
gonna.
if it
Hey,
takes
you
like
know the way it is.
numbers being low or whatever, that's cool, bro. And I'm not gonna
Hey,
do
do this.
something I don't believe in,
Hey,
bro.
Peter, hey, Julie, like I was in the streets. I do this for fun, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You
right.
know, I think you know, now that I've been in your channel, you know, I've been in a few channels, man. You know, so people know me in that narrative, in that way, man. You know, get to know me as a person, get to know me as an individual, man. Get to know me as like I said, man. I'll get down on my knees. I'll pray for you. I got no shame, no animosity, anything, man. As a matter of fact, pray for Russia right now and pray for the people in Ukraine because they're going through some hardship and stuff like that, man. If
Yes,
I could
sir.
put my gangbanging
Especially those
skills
innocent
and they'll
people,
take me,
man.
hey, take me over there, man. I'll go gangbang with those homies any day, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Especially those innocent people, man. It's like that's the sad part about this stuff, man.
You know,
A lot of innocent people being affected, man. Big D, tell us about speaking of Russia and Ukraine. I mean, like, tell us about because I still feel like we're jumping ahead. It's a lot I know we're missing, but when you bring certain topics up, I want to touch on that before I forget about it. But speaking about Ukraine and all this, like, when did you start traveling? Like, you've been to Europe and all these places. A lot of people don't go outside of LA or Pomona or San Bernardino. Like, when did you start traveling and going to Europe and all these places, man? How did that come about?
Okay, so like I said, my upbringing was not really too bad. Like I like how they said, somebody says, or did they say, hey, the part two, Big D part two? Hey, but
Hey,
I like what happened was, see, I was very blessed and very fortunate to have my family. They were always traveling, whether they were camping, going to the beach, going
right,
to a lake, and doing the small things, right? So what my biggest adventures when I got into it with my stepdad, when I started rebelling with my mom at a young age, like I told you, 12 years old, I had a chance to go with my uncle. He was in the 82nd Airborne in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So
okay,
I went over there and I lived out there for a year. And I'm pretty sure, G-Lo, you know, from the East Coast, it was a big culture change for me, my boy. Let me
right.
tell you, man. You know, I was not used to I was not used to my black community being black.
Right,
You know,
right,
especially in the 80s and 90s. I was just like, where are my Mexican people at, dog? You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like, where are we at? So I ended up going in the East Coast, man. You know, my uncle was in the Army in the 82nd Airborne. He was stationed at Fayetteville. He was doing jumping school, and I lived in a city called Fayetteville. I went to two high schools, 71st and Western Hornet. Big shout out to them. But
Okay.
what happened, bro? To be honest with you, man, my uncle was bad into drugs, bro. His addiction was crack, and that whole year and a half, you know, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And they have Pope Air Force Base in there. It was a trip, man. Big old base, man. So saludos to the Army, man, and what they do, straight up, man. I know a lot of people have their Army. I don't want to jump off the topic, but me, I appreciate the Army because they do. Hey, we have some kind of freedom in our side of the world, man, straight up. But anyways, going back to what I was saying. So that was my first travel. So we drove over there. So you know, from here over there, it took us 5 days. So my uncle drove during the night, and my aunt Dora drove during the day. So
Right.
I had the experience to go from Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana. I was like, damn, you know. So that was my first start of traveling, going out big, and I was just like,
Right.
damn. So years later, I will always tell my cousin, right? Shout out to my cousin Chile. We call him Chile, Big Johnny.
Big Johnny, what up?
Yeah. He was out there, and he was one day we would always we would play chess, right? You know, chess.
Yeah.
And we have a map, and then we would put up like, man, okay, so if I win you get to have this city. It's like war, right? It's like the game of Risk, you know, like, oh, I beat you in chess, is my territory.
Right.
So I started putting up on the map like everywhere I've been, and he looked at that like, damn, dog, you've been to a lot of places. I'm like, yeah, you know, I've been to Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific. I got the experience, boy. So one day he got a hair up his butt. He got his passport. And his first trip, bro, was to Israel, bro. You know, went out there, shot out there, came back. You know what I mean? Then a year later, it starts being an addiction. A year later, then he went to Europe, went out there for 3 weeks. He did the backpacking, came back. So he would bring us pictures and everything. I said, hey, bro, you know what I mean? What's up, dog? Like, hey, primo, he goes, I'm going to go back again next year. And I said, nah, this time you're going to take me with you, dog. You know what I mean? Because then now we started playing chess, and now he's been here. He's been there. And so it's like a competition, right? I was like, oh, hell no, dog. I was the first one to travel here and there. Now, you know what I mean? He set the path, bro. You know what I mean? Right. He set the path. So I went over there, and to make a longer story short, he says, hey, I go, I'm going with you. He said, you know what, primo? He goes, I won't believe you until you get your passport first. So next thing you know, I went, I got that in motion, got my passport. Boom. Next thing you know, I bought my ticket. We're on our way to Europe, dog. You know what I'm saying? It was a 17-hour flight. Me and my other cousin.
17 hours?
17 hours, dog. It was just like,
you're
talking about experience, and that's what I'm saying. Man. I wish people, like you said, G-Lew, man, would know the more significant of there's more to life than just the streets, bro. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, take your family and experience the world. I know they say the world is big, but it's small at the same time. There's so much beauty out there, man. The cultures and everything. If you want to know, you want to get lost out there, man. Straight up, man. There's people that are traveling every day, and they're seeing significant things. If you want to know where the roots come from, Europe is old, bro. This country is not even 300 years old, man. And look at all the endeavors and the challenges that this country's still going through, and what we're going through still. And that's history. See, and that's what I'm saying. I learned a lot through that, because it broke an endeavor, and saying like, man, you know what I mean? There's more to life than just this. All you got to do is experience a little something. You know how I say, taste this. I tasted a little of that. Bam, dog, you might get hooked. Hey, taste this little drug right here. Bam, I was hooked, bro. So we went out to Europe. We landed in Amsterdam.
Ooh, How was that, man? I always said I wanted to go to Amsterdam. Back in the day, it's not. I'm really not. But yeah, I always wanted to go to Amsterdam.
So you know, remember, I ain't partying. I don't party or nothing, right? You know.
Right.
So we landed in Europe, right? And then after when I got off the plane, bro, I got one of the panic attack, bro, because I was like, I told my little cousin, he's like, hey, dog. I go, damn, hey, where the hell are we at, food? Like,
right.
I start realizing, man, because you know what I mean. It's just like, man, you know what I mean. Different. We're not in LA no more, dog.
Right,
you know We're not in the Los. We're freaking like 3,000.
You're far away. It's not like you can just go drive over here.
So my little cousin's like, calm down, dog, calm down. So gather your thoughts. You know, we gathered our thoughts. And then after we got into gangbanging mode, I had to regroup my mind, dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
So from the airport right there to we had to take a train to Amsterdam, and then after my cousin was there first with this other good friend of ours, and he didn't even know we were coming. So we got our room, right, and then my cousin came back and he told the guy, "Hey, is my cousin here?" And he goes, "Yeah, they're in this room." So when we opened the door, his good friend of ours. When he's all like, "Hey, what the freak are you guys doing here?" And we're like, "Hey, we're here to party, dog. You know what's going on, dude? You know, we're right here chilling." So, man, my cousin was out because, you know, my cousin, they're Chief Keefers, dog. You know, they do their thing, this and that. We went out to the thing, and I was just like the whole custom. You know, when you start walking through Amsterdam, bro, you know, right away it was like this. G-Lew, you start going into the city, you're like, whoa, whoa. And after I started telling my cousin, there's naked women on these things right here, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And my other cousins are like, duh, we're at the red light district, bro. And I was like, oh, shoot, dog. Like, I'm blind, dude. Like, you know, I was like, oh, Lord, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I was like this. You know, hey, G-Lew, you know, you're like this. You know? I'm not looking. You know? I'm not, you know, it's been exposed, man. And I'm saying, like, you know, their cultures and things. You know, nakedness over there is nothing to them, bro. You know, we were born naked.
Yeah.
So culture-wise, you start learning. I started seeing a lot of things, and things started making more sense in my head, bro. You know, we had a good old time right there. We stayed one night in Amsterdam. My cousin, we partied at the red light district. You know, at that time we went, they didn't even know what a speaker phone speaker was. And back then we had a speaker. I was blasting Michael Jackson, some oldies, man. I remember this restaurant, the people that we got, they took the radio and they put it inside their bar, bro. And that bar was jumping, bro, after they put our radio in there, bro. It was just like, oh, we're playing American music, bro. It's just like,
right.
Europe is freaking years back from what America is. America is ahead of the game, big dog, straight up, bro. You know,
right.
China, that's why they say China and everybody else is trying to be up like America, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're the most advances, the more technology. Everybody's just trying to keep up, dog, straight up, bro. You know, you can't keep up with a country, dog, that just has, you know, why other, like, there's a commercial that says, while the world is sleeping, America's working, dog.
Ooh wee, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know,
wow,
straight up. So we went in that part, you know what I mean? And then we took a bus to Belgium. We're in Belgium for like 6 hours, and the next thing you know, we ended up in France, and we stayed in France for a day. So we were like, you know what I mean?
So all of these, like, when you're in these different, they're different countries, but they're like seem like states, because you could be somewhere else in an hour or 2 hours, right? So it's kind of like
look at it like that. Yeah, look at it like that. You're in states. Amsterdam, you know, we were at the red light district, so it's like going to downtown LA, you know, a little bit.
Right.
And then after we went to Belgium, it was more bigger. And then when we got to Paris and France, it was big, bro. It's like really downtown.
That shit was cracking up.
Like you got Ontario, you got San Bernardino, you got Orange County. It was just like big. And then again, I was telling my cousin, like, we saw the Eiffel Tower, the Arc of Triumph when Napoleon built the thing where the Germans went through. And history starts just becoming, you're like, damn, Hitler was right here. Napoleon was here three so many years ago. And you just start, you're like, I was like, the whole time I was there, like, what the hell am I doing here, dog? Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like crazy. Then we went to Britain, and we went to Big Ben, and you know, my cousins were smoking a weed in front of the Queen's Palace, dog. And me and this guy were all paranoid because this guy made me paranoid, like, oh, we're gonna get busted. But my cousins are from LA, dog. Like, we don't care, dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just partying, bro. You know, they're just doing their thing. Where my cousin said, go ahead.
What was the difference? What up, Mac Malone? What was the difference with some of the different places, like Britain, opposed to when you were in Paris, or certain places, like were there really big differences in culture, or how people, you know what I mean, how it was? Like, what was the difference in some of the areas you're in?
Like you say, dog, let me tell you, let me just sum it like this. You know what, G-Lew? There's ghettos everywhere you go, dog. Straight up, homie. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really nothing different but the language and the way people are living, bro. You know, straight up. But everything else, they have it. Like I told you, red light district, prostitution. Over there in we're in Amsterdam, you smoke weed over there. It's legal. You know what I mean? You take a little LA with you, bro. You know, that's what I'm saying. I got gangster, and I started realizing it custom. So trip out on this. So we were in France, right? And let me tell you a part where we had to get gangstered out. So we were in France, bro. And after we met some guy, you know, you meet people, man, from other countries. It's crazy, bro, right? So we're in France, right? We were at a motel. We were walking up to our motel in the evening, but we had the guy that we were hanging out with, his bus was leaving towards later on that evening. So we walked back with him. So we walked back with him to the bus. We must have walked like at least like 17, 18 blocks. We're doing a lot of walking, bro. I was like, what do you call it? It was a lot of walking, bro.
Right.
So going back, you know what I mean? One thing I noticed, there's a lot of foreigners from different countries. You guys know that. You see it on the history. It's just like Cubans coming to America, right? There's refugees, right? There was a lot of Cameroons that were refugees in France, you know? So we were in the part, G-Lew, where it was like, you know, there was a lot of Cameroons, right? And I noticed that these Cameroons, the more we kept on going to our motel, it was getting dark, bro. And they were in front of these places, you know, where they do, you know, the hair, you know, they do the hair, right? You guys get your hairs braided, you know, our African American brothers and stuff. There was a lot of blacks, you know, African American.
Where was this at?
In France, but there was like
France.
a little area. It was like going to Compton, dog. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I was in Compton. You know what I mean, we were like straight up in Compton. So I noticed every time we were going up to our motel, every block, they were in front of the, you know, where they do the hair. They were
Right.
the guys. They started getting more deeper. You
They
know
were
what I
just
mean?
on the
First,
street.
in the streets. Every block we're going to, first there was 5 of them. Then we went to the next block. There were 7 of them. Every block had like one of those places for hair, bro. It was just
Right.
like, boom, it was crazy. We go 2 more blocks, and now there was 10 of them, and they were kicking back. And I was just like, and then the guy told us, he goes, "You got to be careful because there's pickpocketers in France." And I was like, "What?"
Right. I heard you say this. Yeah,
There's
yeah. I heard you talk
everywhere
about
you
this.
go, dog.
Right.
There's
Right.
where you go, dog, you know? So I was like, all right, so by time the 10th block, my cousins, they want to go and they want to get beer. You know what I mean? Let's go to the market. We need to get some beer. All they want to do, my cousins, just wants to party, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just wants to party, dog. Me, I was just like, oh, no, hell no, dog. I got to keep my eyes
trying
open.
to be aware. Yeah.
I got to be aware of the surroundings. Okay, so coming out, we went another 5 more blocks, bro. And damn, dog, G-Lew, I seen like there's like 25, it's like a neighborhood, dog. I was like, damn, dog, we're gonna walk through that. And sure enough,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, dog, we're gonna walk through that. So I remember it was me and my cousin, and then after it was my other cousin, his friend, and this other couple. You know, they were white. You know, you could tell they were tourist food, but they were from I don't know where.
Right.
So I told my cousin, I go, look, dog, they're sizing us up. You could see it, dog. You could see they're looking at us. We're looking at them. We're looking at us, and they're saying, like, so check this out, dog. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk to the right, and I'm gonna size up. Dog, I'm gonna be by myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna take their distraction. I go right, and I go, you go left.
Right.
Vinny, you go with them. So sure enough, we split up, bro, and I got all the flag. I could see all their attention were off to me. And so you gotta show no fear, dog. You know, you're gonna go into the line.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, straight up. Just keep it gangster. I walked in front of all those guys, bro. Sure enough, they what they start doing, they start going across. You know what I mean? They start. I see this guy. He took my cousin's itinerary, or he took the water. He took water from my cousin's back pocket, and then my other cousin told me, he saw him. He's like, "Hey, fool, what's up?" And when he did that, I jumped on the guy like, "Hey, homie," you know what I mean? And as soon as I did that, their main guy was against the wall, and they start talking to Cameroon. You go, "Hey, blah, 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 blah." They started doing this thing, and it was like the Red Sea, bro. They didn't mess with us, dog. You know what I mean? They backed up like, "Hey, fool, these fools are gangsters, dog. Like, don't mess with me, dog."
Yeah, like you said, they smell the fear, and if you didn't have none, that's what they.
You got to recognize, dog, straight up. You know what I'm saying? So my cousin was being like, you know what I mean? He was not paying attention. He was like, he was already drunk, bro. That's why they were trying to take advantage of the weak, you know?
Right.
So he sees what's up. That guy gave back my cousin the water, bro. Or I don't know how that happened. He kept the water. He just said, "Let's go, man." And we just kept mad dogging him. Thank God that the corner right there was our motel. And then after we went to the motel, I was like, dog. Like, we just got away from that one, dog. But that was just one encounter. That when we left, we had another encounter, dog, straight up too. But we went through the whole scenario. We traveled. We met some people, man. It was good. And then our way back.
So like, what was the purpose? Like when you guys even going there? Like, was it for a purpose? Like, or were you guys just like, let's just travel and get out here and move around? Like, were their destination? Was it a purpose? Like, what were you guys doing, and what was the goal for being out there or whatever?
What it was, like I told you back in the beginning, my cousin was traveling, bro. So I want a piece of the pie. You know, I wanted to experience. You know, so I was just like, man, you know what I mean? Take me with you, homie. You know what I mean?
But did you guys know where you were going? Did you have a plan, like a map? Okay, we're gonna.
My cousin,
you guys just doing it.
My cousin knew where he was going because you know itinerary. You got to go. Traveling is crazy, bro. There's a lot of preparation. We just went for the ride, bro. You know what I mean? But he already kind of knew. He already went to Israel, and then he'd been to Europe already for 3 weeks. This is the 3rd time he went. But there's 2 countries that he didn't go to when he went to Europe the last time. He didn't go to France, and he didn't go to Britain. But he went to Czech Republic. He went to Germany. He went to Sweden. He went to like all these, all those Portugals. He went to Spain. He ran with the Bulls.
Damn, he did it up.
He did it up. My cousin did it up. So the only places he didn't go to was France and Great Britain. So he made that part of our travel. So he kind of knew what was up. And like I said, we just went along for the ride, bro. So you know, it was crazy, man. It was an experience, and that's what I was just like, man. That's one thing I could say, man. I've done in my life, man. So I tell all you people who are out there, man, give yourself an opportunity, man. Give yourself a little chance, man. If you can't go to Europe, man, go to the lake down in Lake Mizzou, or go to Bass Lake, or go. You know what I mean? There's the United States has beautiful places and monuments and history where we could go and you could learn. And a part of I noticed about traveling is learning, bro. Because you learn different cultures, you learn different foods, you learn different languages. It's just crazy, bro. That's why I see myself in life. You know, people, they say education ain't important. Well, you know what I mean? What's a part of life if you ain't going to learn, bro?
Right, that part, bro. That's facts. And even traveling, bro, like I gotta do more. Like I don't like my mom, like a lot of when my mom travels a lot, my aunt travels, even my daughter, like travels, been to more places than me. Like I travel, but not like I've been a few places, but like I don't never like, like you said, France and all these, all these places, like,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
gotta
I
make
got
it
more.
happen.
Trust me, I got more to tell. A little bit experience there, like going into those. Like I said, you know what I mean? I always keep it, I always have a spiritual, on my spiritual side, which to me is like an awareness. Like you got to be trucha, be aware, homie, be aware of your surroundings, be acknowledge what you see. So I remember a trip out. So when we're over there in the Amsterdam, our first night, this guy
Mhm.
took us to a battle, right? You know, we were, or like not only these girls were out there on the red light district, but he took us to a building where all these freaking women were at. So,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? We're like where the prostitution, all that stuff goes. And I was just like,
Right.
me and my cousins are being arrogant, like, oh yeah, we're
Right.
gonna see women, this and that. But then after that, you know what I mean? Me knowing like what's
Did you
right and
get
wrong,
tempted, Big D?
hell no, dog. You know what I mean? Because I started looking at you want to know why, dog? Because I started realizing, like, you know what I mean, like the movie. You ever seen the movie Taken?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they take the girl and they're using
Yeah.
them as prostitution and
Yeah.
they take these young women and shit like that. Dog.
Yeah.
I started looking at things like that, dude. I had a different
Yeah.
narrative of what I saw, and I started seeing like, damn, how many of these hyenas that are here are
Right.
being withheld without their own freaking permission,
Right.
dog.
Right.
These hyenas
Right.
are coming from here, there. We look at it, we go as perverts, bro, but we're not realizing that what's the real idea. It's money, dog. That's what I'm telling you. There's a lot of freaking, stuff. The world's corrupt, dog, in one way or another, dog. You know what I'm saying? I want to. So that was my aspect of it, and then knowing that I have a wife, I'm gonna keep it real, dog. I want to
Right.
keep it
Right.
real, dog,
Right.
I'm gonna vow down. I'm gonna keep to my oath and my vows, bro.
That part. That part. That's commendable, man. Big D. That's a good guy. That's a good guy. They Love said I would love to travel as long as I don't have to cross the ocean. Well, you gotta cross the ocean, right? If you want to go somewhere, you gotta Hey man, you gotta cross the ocean, baby. You got
If
if
you
you want to
don't,
really go somewhere, like unless you just I don't know, you want to go over like I don't know, you want to go to Oakland or something. But you gotta cross the ocean. Yeah, you have to.
hey, G-Lo, like how we say in the streets. It depends hey, G-Lo, it depends how far you want to go.
Right, that part. That
Yeah,
part.
I'll
Hey,
take you I'll take you all the way.
right, right. And I got you though, Nay. We could, but check this out. The homegirl Denise asked earlier, have you ever been to Spain? And then I want to ask you on top of that, like being that you've been to all these different places and countries, is it places like say like somewhere even in Mexico, like is a real big country? Is it places you want to go there? Or like the homegirl said, Spain, or places where you want to go somewhere where you could find out more of your roots, like you spoke about earlier, as far as traveling.
Right. I think the first thing I do want to experience, and I have to get there, man, before time ends, man. And that probably be my last like thing on the bucket list. I don't really care about anything else. Maybe my second thing on the bucket list is jumping off an airplane, but that's to be
Ooh,
continued.
I can't do it,
But
dog. I can't do it, my boy. Ooh,
you know, but I would really
shit.
love, what I mean, really, really love to go to Israel, man. I
Oh
really, really
wow,
learned the spiritual aspect, the
Jerusalem.
tradition, Jerusalem, man. To know the history, pretty much, I feel like I have to experience, and that's the reason why my cousin went over there. He said if I was gonna go anywhere first, that he was gonna go to Israel, man. And sure enough, my cousin's been to Egypt, Peru. I mean, he's been to
Wow,
China, and
wow,
he has pictures to back it up, bro.
wow.
So if I could go anywhere right now, it'd be Israel, bro.
Hey, but check this out. On the flip side of going to these places like that, do you think now, even though some people want to go to those places, do you think now it's caution though, like trying to go to different countries, man, being that it's certain things going on and like being American or whatever, you can go over there and have problems, they even get stuck over there. I mean, you just never know. Like, do you think it's caught is any red flags or cautions of going to different countries or how you travel in 2022, bro?
Man, I don't even want to tell you about getting stuck somewhere because on my way back from my trip, I could tell you another story, but I don't want to get into that. But I almost got
Okay.
stuck over there.
Oh
Literally, I almost
wow.
got stuck over
That's
there.
what I'm afraid of, bro. I don't
Yeah,
want
dude,
to go
straight
somewhere
up.
and be
I almost got stuck over there. I could tell you a story on that one, dog. But
oh,
you know, to be honest with you, man, the way they really honestly they treat Americans, dude, they love us, bro. You know what I
right.
mean? The only place I had a little animosity and differences was the French. Them. They're still mad because we took over World War II and we won Hitler. We freaking liberated them and they couldn't do it. That's why they hate us, dog. But you go anywhere else, man. Even you go to Ukraine, bro, they love us, bro. You go. I never been to Ukraine, but it's just the Europeans, they love us.
I've heard that. Yeah.
They respect us. They love us. They appreciate us, man. Like I felt like all hospitality over there, man. You know, you from America? So, okay. So let me tell you another story, right? So me and my cousin, my other cousin, they were staying there 14 days. Me and my other cousin stayed there 8 days. So we had to separate. We had to separate from Paris. You know, they went a different way, and we were going. Me and my cousin went back home. So we were back in Amsterdam, right? My cousin went. You know, we got there a little early. My cousin bought a sack. You know, we ate at a good restaurant, and then we found ourselves right there at the train station. And our flight was leaving the next day in the morning. Like I said, his was leaving at 8 in the morning, and mine was leaving at 11 or 12. Or his was leaving at 11, and mine was leaving at 5 in the afternoon. So, but we wanted to be back. You know what I mean? We're just like, we're not gonna miss our plane. We're not gonna miss our plane. Let's just go back. So, chilling over there, we encountered some guys, bro. You know what I mean? They took notice of us. And me and my cousin, after we ate, we're chilling right there. My cousin's chief keeping it. He's getting all faded and this and that, you know. And
he said chief keeping it.
Yeah, he was chief keeping it. We're waiting for the last train to get to the airport. It leaves at 8 in the night, and it was like around 5 in the afternoon. So you know what I mean. You got to understand. In Amsterdam, there's a lot of channels and canal with water. So people, there's like a lot. They take a lot of tourists there. People are going their boats and they're just cruising, you know. So these guys come out, right, and they take notice of us, and they, you know, they start asking us questions. Hey, where you guys from? This and we tell them we're from, you know, United States, you know. And right away, when you go travel, man, let me tell you this: people always think you're from New York. Like, no, we're not a Yankee.
Up.
You're not a Yankee, dog. You know, well, where you from? From LA, dog. Like, when
right.
When they hear LA, they go like this, like, what? Like, yeah, like, we're Mexicans. We're from LA. We're West Coast, not New York, West Coast. I mean. So we had later on that night, no, people were reciprocated to us, like these guys that came up to us, they started talking to us and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So I remember this guy was coming, right? You know, African American guy, right? And he was coming up solid hard. I guess he knew these guys that we were hanging out with. They were custom to each other. So this guy ended up being Somalia, bro. You know, he was Somalian. So he would start telling him. He came up all crazy with that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And after he's all like, "Oh, where you guys from?" He goes, "Oh, we're from United States." You know what I mean? Him too. "Oh, you from New York?" And they start trying to rap. Yo. We're like, "Nah, we're not."
So what is it about New York? Oh, like they just
because you got to understand, bro. You know, if you know the history, when the United States started becoming a country, it was the 13 colonies were built first, right? You know,
right. Yeah, I know New York is popping. I know that part. I know that, but we're talking like nowadays though. It's not, you know, it's other
because they're not reciprocated to that. Everything comes from the East Coast. They're more origin to the East Coast, bro. You know, the history.
And that's what they hit first, even when they come over there. It's the East Coast.
So in other words, where was hip hop made up first?
The East Coast. Yeah.
You know, so they're custom. They know they follow suit. They know the line.
Right.
So anyways, the guy comes up, right, and then after he goes, and we tell him like, "Hey, where you from?" Like, and he goes, "I'm from Mogadishu." And we're like, "What?" Like, you know what I mean? And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm from Somalia." And he got all crazy. You know what I mean? He goes, "Oh, you know Black Hawk Down, Black Hawk, Captain Phillips." He goes, "Oh, this getting all crazy, dog." And he goes, "I'm a terrorist." He goes, "I'm a terrorist." He's trying to scare us, dog. Like, really. So I got up and I go, you know what? I go, you know what's up, my boy? And I go, you know, gangs in LA. You know. I go, we're the terrorists of LA, bro. You know, we fight in Los Angeles. We're not over here. And I go, we gang bang over here too. Big dog. I stood up to him and he went back. He goes, "Oh, Ice Cube, Easy E." He was the whole persona, bro. Like, man, don't even come at me like that, my boy, dog. You know what I mean? I don't care how big you are, how crazy you think you look, this and that. Like, man, I will drop you in 2 seconds, my dog.
Right.
You know? So, you know, we had to take that gangster steel over there, man. You got to be aware of precaution everywhere and anything you do at all times, every day of your life, man. I don't care if you're here, over there, or anywhere, dog. You got to be careful, dog.
For sure.
So anyways, we end up splitting. These guys didn't want us to leave, bro. And I told my cousin, "Hey, dog, you know, the train's going to leave like in 20 minutes. We need to go to the train." So this guy comes up and he tells us, "Oh, let me give you a boat." Everybody got dark. It was already getting late, dog, you know? So this guy goes up and he's all like, "Hey," "let me take you guys on a boat ride." And my cousin, being like an idiot, he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go down." And I got him by short. "Hey, fool, boom." I go, "Nah, dog, I don't know these fools, dog. You ain't taking us nowhere, dog. You know what I mean?" And he was all like, "Why not?" Listen, I'm like, "Nah, dog." I told him, "I don't know you. You know what I mean? You don't know me, dog. You know what I mean?" I go, "Charlie," I go, "We're leaving, homie." "Sorry, dog." He's all, "Oh, just stay a little longer. We got weed and this." And I'm like, I already knew something was wrong, dog. I could feel it, dog. You know what I mean? It's just like, boom. We ended up going back. I told my cousin, boom, we went. make a long story short, we got on the plane, headed back home, dog. You know, when I cried, when I came, I landed. I saw my wife. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I cried like a baby, bro. Because my cousin told me when you go over there and you come back, it's gonna do something to you. And sure enough, dog, it's you know what it did? It's appreciation, dog.
Right. Wow. But Big D, 17 hours, bro. 17-hour flight straight.
Hey,
Wow.
they let you get up, and where everybody hangs out at is in the tail, bro.
Wow.
You know, they hang out in the back.
17 hours, bro.
Okay. Well, to make that short, I had a layover, dog. You know what I mean?
Okay, at least it's a layover. Okay, a layover.
My layover was only like 45 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like right back in that. Like I had to go through the line. We had to go through all the protocol. Like, you know, you have to go through customs and everything. Then I was back on the airplane. So it felt like we didn't even, like, you know, we took a 45-minute break. But at that time, everything was, we were gone, dog. You know, so it was like
smooth. What I mean, but you know, I mean, wow.
It was another 12
I think
hour.
probably my most was probably 6 hours.
It was another 12 hour. It was another 12-hour flight from there, dog.
Oh my God. Whew.
Yeah,
so I mean, are you able to like sleep, or do you? I mean, it's different times on the plane. Sometimes you can sleep, sometimes you can't. You know, but I mean, how was that? Yeah, the turbulence. Like you got to experience turbulence, but like I said. But like Nate, turbulence, all of that. But that's okay when you're on a 4 or 3 hour flight. Okay, you'll get over it. But when you're on a 17-hour flight, bro, like you just got to shake it off. Okay, that was some turbulence, man. Hopefully it gets better. You shake it off. But 17 hours, bro. Jesus Christ.
So my cousin from his first experience in his flight, you know what he did, right? He showed us how to do it. He goes, look at. We went to his house the night before. And he would tell us, he told us at night, he goes, look, tomorrow we're going to be on that airplane, one of those airplanes flying across. So he goes, you know what we're going to do? He goes, we're going to get effed up, dog. And they end up getting
just
party,
okay.
Stood up all night. I didn't party, but we were just
I get that.
Night. So when you get on the plane.
I can understand that.
You know what I mean? Turbulence and all that stuff. Turbulence and all that stuff. Man, the plane goes down, you're going down. My cousin was partying at the freaking airport, and he's getting drunk. As soon as he got in the airplane, you know,
that's a good way. I didn't think about that. I guess you would have to.
Yeah, but me, I wasn't drinking and partying, but what helped me was that I stood up long with them. You know, I stood up all night with them. But I really didn't sleep on the airplane. I didn't even really sleep at all.
I never sleep. Sometimes I try, even when I try, bro. I'd never sleep. I don't know what it is. I want to go to sleep, but I just can't. I'll lay there and act like I'm asleep, and I'm not. You know what I mean? But you know what? For me too, bro. I don't know if a 17-hour flight, I'm gonna have to get fucked up too. I don't know. Excuse me, but I never do that. You know, when I fly, I don't think about that. I put it this way. I put it in God's hands, and I just say, if I'm up here, bro, I don't have any control over this at this point. So you know, if we do go out, I've already accepted it, bro. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not scared. I'm like. I'll deal with it when it comes, but I don't think about like that, like because it's like we don't have control over that. You feel me?
I'm scared.
It is what it is, bro.
It was my first time.
I say a prayer and I'm cool.
First time flying 17 hours, bro. I was.
That's crazy though, bro. 17 hours. That's a long flight, dog. That's serious, bro.
It was crazy, man. You know, it's just I kept it real, man. You know, straight up.
He kept it real. You had no choice. That's serious right there, bro. Then 12 hours after that.
Oh, man. Hey, like they say, dog, it's in God's hand, bro. You know. So,
yeah, it is, man. But that's my only thing about going to other countries. I'm thinking about that long flight. Like,
but hey, you know, would I do it again? Would I change everything? And wait, hell no, I do it the same way, dog. You guys don't even know the half of the story, dog. That was just a little portion, dog. You know what I'm saying? But I do it the same way, man. You know, you can't. There's no regrets in life, man. There's only changes, bro. You know, you can only change the things, man. You know, so you know,
what would you say? Life is a trip. Life's a trip, Carnal. Hey, what would you say to the people, man? Like, because we'll get ready to close. You know, this thing is so deep right here, and we've only. I feel like we've only touched on it, like.
We'll do it again, bro.
Big D. Yeah, we have to. No, we have to, bro, because I feel like it's so much more to the story. We're just, you know, doing what we can, picking parts and here and there, and just trying to fill in the blanks in the puzzle. But I feel it's so much more. You know what I mean? To Big D's story, because we keep touching on stuff that traveling. You know, it's a lot. So we got to do it again. But
how I changed my life, how I got married to my wife. You know what I mean? There's a lot. We'll do it again.
You got a lot. Yo, we have to, Big D. Soon too. Soon. But you know, we'll just give them a portion tonight because you know we don't want to. I know it's getting late. You know what I mean? But what would you say for right now? Like you said, man, you've been through a lot. You've changed your life. I don't know at what point you not only changed but became saved
I
or close
experienced a lot.
with God or whatever. Like so, yeah, you have. So what could you tell the people right now that you can leave them with?
Man,
Um,
no matter what you're going through, no matter what your situation, your circumstances is, the outlook of life, man, there's more to life, and life is what you make it. Straight up, man. Straight up, man. You're in control of your own life and your own destiny, and I understand there's going to be a lot of advocates, a lot of challenges, a lot of people who are going against your narrative, but basically you got to believe in yourself, man, because if you're not going to give your chance an opportunity, man, then there ain't no opportunity that's going to happen. Straight up, man. Make sure you educate yourself. A lot of people, they say, well, oh, education this, education that. I'm not the smartest guy, man, but I gave myself a chance, bro. So to say people out there, man, there's more to life, and especially look at these dire days, man. The world's crazy right now, and make sure we just appreciate it and respect one another. A lot of people, they're going through tough times right now, and some have it harder than others. And that's the way I always looked at it, man. My situation ain't like that person's situation. I thank God for that. So appreciate what you have, and use the smallest thing that's good to make a better attribute to things that are sub to come, man.
that part. Any one more thing. Let me ask you this: is there any say like, man, like somebody may take a quote, say they take a Bible verse, anything, they don't have to be extra super spiritual, but something that can help them. Like, what would be that quote or that scripture or that or whatever would you lead them to look at to help them through their day?
I'll give a simple one, man, and everybody knows this one, man. It's the John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his son, man. God loves us,
Like,
man. God gave
that's
his
my screen. That's my screensaver on my phone. Go ahead, bro.
you gotta, just don't read it, try to understand it, educate it. For God so loved the world. He loves us so much that he gave his best, man. That's like me and you giving up our child, man, to die, right? He gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but we have everlasting life with God because of our belief in somebody and everything that made this world and made us to get along and to support and love one another, man. That's where it all boils down to, man. Opportunity. God gave us an opportunity because he sacrificed something so we could have an opportunity and a chance as well.
Oh wait, that was powerful, Big D. Big D, he's keeping it real. He kept it real tonight, man. Shout out to my sis Brenda with love, John 3:16. That's my screen. You can't see my phone right here, but that's my screensaver, bro. And I keep that so when I wake up in the morning, I look at that first, and I pray
That's what
every morning, like first thing I do when I wake up. That helps me to remember because sometimes we forget, you know what I mean? So that helps me because I have to look at my phone first, my alarm, all that, and that's my screensaver. And and I
there's
pray.
there's a little to it that people just need to understand. Let me elaborate a little bit more.
Okay.
You got to understand that it says in that scripture, God gave up something, man. He gave up something. He gave something, and what are we willing to give these days, man? Us as human beings, man. If he gave his son, what I mean? It's like us giving our kid, man, and he gave us his best, bro. He didn't give us no hand down, nothing that wasn't that meant something. He gave us his best. So, make sure, that, when you give, man, that's why you say give back, man. It's better to give than receive. That's another quote in the Bible,
That
man.
part.
It's better
That
to
part.
give than receive, man.
Because if you're
Straight up.
always giving, you'll always be receiving anyway.
Straight
'Cause
up,
it comes back. It comes back.
it comes back, man. What you reap is what you sow. Now, I don't
That
want to
part.
disrespect those people who believe in karma, because I know a lot of people do. I'm not trying to change the narrative, but it's what you reap is what you sow. That's straight up, man. You want to give bad seed, you're gonna get bad seed. You want to give good seed, you'll gain good seed.
That part. That part. Big D, ladies and gentlemen. He kept it real tonight, man. He
Can I
kept it
get some?
real.
Hey, G-Lew, you don't mind if I get
Yes,
some
my
shout
boy.
outs?
Go ahead, man. Do it all. Do it all. You got it. Excuse me. Go
Hey,
ahead.
so first of all, I want to give a big shout out to our personal Lord and Savior. Thank you, God, Jesus, for still helping us, saving us, loving us unconditionally, man. If people are quick to judge, man. They'll be surprised. Oh man, I went tomorrow and Big D smoked a joint. Hey, you know what? It happens, bro.
I'm
Don't
human, bro.
don't
It
judge
ain't
nobody.
about. I'm glad you said that. Glad you said
Don't
that,
judge nobody. Don't keep your eyes on me, man. Keep your eyes on God as focus.
that part.
So a big shout out to God. I want to give big shout out to you, G-Lew, man. Thank you for putting me on your panel, bro. I appreciate you, man. I can't wait till we get together and really bond. Like I said, I feel like I've known you for years, and I do, man.
'Cause we got all
Spiritually,
the same because
hey,
we're
we're
all tied
connected,
in, bro.
so big shout
That
out to
part.
DD. Big shout out to DD Hairston, Big Devil, all your people who support you over there on the other side. I support you over here. Big shout out to CYA Entertainment, man. Big shout out to my wife and my family. Big shout out to all those. I told my homeboy, this guy I was talking to in IG, if he's out there, Hector. Big shout out to Drunken
What up,
Chef.
Hector?
You know what I mean? Check out Drunken Chef Barbecue. And everybody else who gave me the chance and opportunity. You guys seen their channel, LA Times, man.
That's my boys.
Incredible Javier.
Incredible Javier, Sunny
Javier.
Boy,
Yeah,
Streets Ain't
Sunny Boy,
Loyal,
Streets Ain't Loyal, man.
Beanchy Love Machine. Excuse me,
Yeah,
Love Machine. He'll be here next Friday. Love Machine will
MOD,
be here next Friday. Go ahead.
MOD Entertainment, Cholo Trucker. They're just
Cholo Trucker. What up, my boy?
yeah.
That's my boy right there.
Pomona Soul Sounds. You can't forget what's our homegirl's name? Brenda Love and all them out
Brenda
there.
with love. What up? Shout out to Nay Love. That's my
Love
girl. That's my
and everybody
partner.
out there, man. It's hard times right now, but let me tell you something. As human beings, man, that's life, man. And we endeavor, no matter what the situation, circumstance is. Let's just move forward and don't go backwards. One thing about Big D, I always go through the front door, never through the back.
I like that. I like that. He always goes through the front, not the back, homie. You know what I mean?
Don't forget to check out my
we face our stuff head on. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, don't forget to check out my channel, Big D Keeping It Real. And a little quote unquote, it's not your channel, but I try to bring up positive stuff. I'm not into all this gang banging and all this stuff. I'm more into my family. I'm more into what's really happening on the streets. I hadn't even dabbed into that yet. I'm more into what's happening within our community and our people. You know what I mean? I'm here to support and stuff like that in my channel, man. So it's not the biggest, it's small, but it has a lot of heart, behind it.
That
So
part.
keep an eye out like this. Keep supporting the G-Lew channel as he brings people, man. I can't believe you brought when you brought Jail Felony on, G-Lew, man. that brought me back to my roots, man. Because one of his songs, like, in Dry Land,
said that.
nobody can stand in Dry Land, bro. You would not in Dry Land. You would not make it up to me, bro. And that brought me back way out, man. So I was just like, big shout out to you, bro. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Salute. We just got to get my boy on here next. We got to get the homie on here, Big D, the homie Child, man. So you got to talk to my boy, man. We got to get him on here, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy, free my homeboy Tweety.
Keep him in prayer, man. He's still going through a hard
loss.
I
know. Definitely. Shout out to my boy and his sons and he's doing a great job though with his boys and everything, man. So I'm proud of you, Child. If you're out there, man, I love you, bro.
We're always looking. Trust me, hey, big sisters over here, dog. Don't worry.
That's right. And I want to give some shout outs, man. Shout out to you, man, for coming on the platform, man. It's a blessing. It's an honor. I love to connect with real homies, man, and real ones, bro. That we can get on here and break bread and talk about positivity and expand, our thought process, man, and really get some things accomplished and really build together, man. So I appreciate you. I want to shout out again to the people behind everything, make it happen. DD Hairston made it happen. Shout out to you, DD. Shout out to Nay Love. Shout out to Brenda with love for just the support, you know what I mean, and everything you do. Shout out to Western Ave Queen. Everyone who tuned in tonight, Love Machine will be here next week. Shout out to Love Machine. He tapped in. Everyone, if I don't remember who you were, but just thank you. Go ahead.
West Carson
Go ahead,
TV.
bro. West Carson, what up?
West Carson TV and West Coast Graffiti.
Oh, that's the homie West Coast Graffiti. Shout out to my boy West Coast Graffiti. I think he's in Long Beach or somewhere out there. But shout out to the homie, man. Much love to you. Again, Sunny Boy, everyone, American Cholo too, everyone, man. Just everyone out there that's pushing their line, man. Shout out to Kev Mack, my boy, the Hood Postman. Everyone out there, man. Much love to you all. Mac Malone, to my boy Conejo, and all my loved ones, man. We love you all. and we'll see you tomorrow night. I got an interview tomorrow night with a young lady, man. Incredible story, man. She has a book out. She's experienced a lot. She's successful now, but she's been through a lot, sex trafficking, a lot of things, man, that could have broke her, but she's standing strong and she has a book out now. She'll be our guest tomorrow night. So tune in tomorrow night. And then Sunday, you know, Oldies rule forever, man. We're gonna kick it with the oldies, me and they love. You know what we do.
This is soul.
Oldies rule forever, man. So, you know, thank you again, my boy. And we're gonna do this part 2
part
coming
2.
soon, people. So be on the lookout.
Just
Part
let
2
me know.
coming soon.
You know, hey, you know how they say, you know my number, big dog, use it.
That part. Much love, my boy. Love you all. And with that part, you guys have a great weekend. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night and then Sunday. Peace and love. We out of here, man.